What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dre Media Caucus Challenge, Season 19 Unfinished Business Finale Reunion Recap. I'm so excited to dive into everything that went down in this two-part final and to wrap this chapter up. It's been a wild ride, an emotional ride. There's a lot that I have to address, that I want to address. There's a lot of questions that I want to answer for you guys. And I'm excited to hear from the finalists and the cast as well. So we're going to jump right into it. We do have 5 of our finalists here tonight. Congratulations to the finalists. You guys absolutely crushed the entire season and that final. It was super, super hard. But I do want to give an even bigger congratulations to Janice and Big X on winning the entire season and making history. Janice, you entered the double dub club, and Big X, you are the youngest champ to do it. So I do want to give you guys the floor to, tell me a little bit about your final experience, watching it back. How do you feel? And anything you want to say to the viewers, the haters, your fans, supporters, etc. And we'll start with Big X.
What's up, y'all? It's Big X. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have said it better. Watching the finale back, I definitely like it. If you guys thought it was hard, like watching it, it was 10 times better. Like actually having to run it. Um, I think that the footage did not give the driveway quotation marks of justice because that was what how long was it? Too long, too damn long. But yeah, I mean, watching it back, I was so just kind of proud and just overwhelmed with like emotions. Um, I was really happy to see my performance in all the stages, especially like last episode and this episode. Um, so yeah, it was just such a like emotional experience watching it. Like I watched it back and I
Big
was
X, you're
crying.
breaking out a little bit. I don't know if it's the headphones.
I watched it back and I was crying. Um, and yeah, it's an unforgettable experience. So
Janice, you finally got the double dub. You seemed very emotional in your win. What was it like watching it back, your experience, and how did you feel? Or how do you feel?
I feel great. it was definitely emotional watching it back. I like I said, I was never supposed to be a part of this world. It was just something that was placed in front of me, and I took full advantage of it, and I had a great time. But all good things must come to an end, and for me, it did. But it is still sad. Like I love the people that I've met because of this. I love the experiences that I've been able to have. Like who else can say that they go when they live in a house for a weekend with people that are literally from all over the country, even other countries, and argue with each other and beat each other up and still love each other at the end of the day and do it volunteer to do it all over again. So it definitely is a unique experience that I am thankful for. And being able to go out on a win is like, I couldn't ask for anything better.
For sure, for sure. I know Kevin joined us a little later. What's up, Mr. Host Man? How are you tonight? I would love to give you the stage and congratulate your champs and give your opinions on the final before we move on from the two champs.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I couldn't hear Janice, so I'm trying to plug the YouTube on the TV because I'm pretty sure it's going to do that thing that everybody struggles with. But congratulations to the winners, of course, Janice, double dub, hard to get, and Xavier as well on your second time. That's really impressive. So big congratulations to you guys. You guys really killed it. And Ashley, you were right there. Congratulations to you too. Of course, I think honestly, this final overall was one of my favorite finals to put together to watch and to just be there and experience, even if I wasn't playing. I wish I could have competed in it. And I'm really proud of it. And I hope we see some kind of like that formatted again. But yeah, big congratulations to you guys.
Yeah, I also do want to congratulate Ashley. You know, you a rookie and the only rookie on the women's side finishing the finals. So and only losing by a minute and 40 something seconds. Very impressed. I know I couldn't say much throughout the season. People were saying she's boring. She's playing Clay's game. I'm like, just wait till the final episode. She finally did her big one, and I genuinely watching you do that final, and even on the way up, I was filming you on the way up. Like you crushed it. Congratulations for finishing. You should be proud of yourself. And how did you feel watching it back? And how do you feel with your overall performance?
I feel amazing with it. It like I know, and we kind of recapped that at the end of the season and or in the end of the episode, you put that in there, and I was able to say I don't feel at all let down or defeated or that I don't feel like I fell short. It was a minute and 41 seconds, and I felt like I killed it. And so, you know, were there parts that I kind of thought, all right, maybe I could have done better at this. I was the last one by far on the eating part, and we weren't eating anything gross. I couldn't comprehend it in that moment, and then came back and was the only, besides Denise, the only one to finish on the female side. And so for me, no, I feel amazing with it. It was such a great opportunity, and I don't really care what people say. Like I can be boring. That's fine. Show up and show out and do the damn thing. And boring or not, like I made it. So that's really all there is to it.
Yeah, I mean, I say it all the time. You could be as boring, and people could say whatever they want. You can't please everybody, and I think that was very, very hard. I think you said it yourself in the episode. Like you didn't even train for this. So if this is you not training, not prepared, no knowledge of this game, I could only imagine how you could play in a future season. Um, and again, at the end of the day, respectfully, you were in the final. You finished the final. No one could say shit to you. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
um,
Which
Kev,
proves again that anybody can do this stuff. Literally anybody. Doesn't
yes.
matter if you haven't been training, if you're the youngest, the oldest, out of shape. Anybody can do it. Definitely don't be afraid to try it out. Because clearly, literally, it just takes a strong mind.
Yeah, agreed. Well, again, congratulations to the three of you for finishing the final, and shout out to Jared for finishing the final as well. We, I knew going into this, I was telling Kevin preseason and production, like, we are going to break these people. This is hard. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to not finish. They're going to DQ. They're going to be crying. Like, it's going to be hard. And I think I literally, like, manifested that. But before we do move on, I do want to again congratulate Jared, but I do want to talk about, you know, the whole chip incident, and I want to get your guys' perspective because you guys did finish the final. I will start off by saying I can take accountability. I know that our production staff was short staffed. The eliminated players were helping us. There was a little bit of confusion. So I will give that. That's something that Dre Media will fix moving forward. I could own that, but I will also say that we made it very clear you needed 6 chips to go to the end. That was the rule that we emphasized from the beginning of the second part. And there were multiple people that made mistakes. Lachey had to go back for a chip. X made a complete wrong turn, and they got it done and they pushed through. It's unfortunate that that happened to Jared, but I left the replay in there because it was right there. I understand sometimes we were getting a chip, sometimes it was a little confusion, but ultimately he forgot his chip, and that's what cost him the win. Complete beast. I definitely think I said it in the live chat. If Jared ever was to return, he has the potential to win this game, and he should be proud regardless. It's just unfortunate that that's what cost him the win. As for you three, I would love to hear your opinions on it, and please don't hold back. You guys ran the final. You guys can critique us. Like, very open to it. I want to be very transparent with you guys and the viewers. But we'll start with Ashley.
Yeah. So, I mean, I too ran past, I keep wanting to call it the first station because honestly, I kind of forgot about the whole cup part when we literally first started from the basement. But I too ran past that, and I remember looking down and I saw Janice down there eating, and I'm like, oh, okay, there it is. But it wasn't clear where we were supposed to go in. And there was some confusion from where we turned at the end of the driveway. There was some confusion, like, okay, go here. And I don't remember who was there. It doesn't really matter. Like they said, yeah, you just keep going. So of course I'm like, all right, well, I guess we'll keep going and we'll see it. And we didn't. And so I don't remember who was coming back that had also passed it. And they said, like, no, turn around, turn around. And so definitely a little bit of confusion there. But again, it's still, we turned around and made up the time, and it is what it is. As far as the chip part goes, I can see a little bit. I tried to play devil's advocate a little watching the episode. I can see where definitely he would be frustrated, of course. Like, you're right there. You just won the damn thing, and then, oh shit, no, you didn't actually. And like on the chip part, so on the eating challenge, the chip was right there in front of us. So we knew finish it, grab it, go. When we were putting the names in order down by the water, you had to walk out and get your chip after you completed that. So I can see where there's a little bit of, okay, sometimes the chip is given to you after you complete your station. And then sometimes the chip was just blatantly right there in front of you. After Sudoku, I think they gave it to us. So that part, playing devil's advocate, I can see where Jared maybe would have, if he didn't see them, which again, we're delusional by this point. So maybe he didn't see it. Obviously, if he saw it, he would have grabbed it. So it felt like those chips were very clear. I also was exhausted and needed to stop and needed to take a minute to really get my head wrapped around, can I even grab these damn logs? Jared probably didn't. He's probably like, I'm grabbing the logs and going. He's moving on. So playing devil's advocate there, I can see where he would be thinking, as soon as I complete the driveway, drop my logs, I'm going to be handed my chip, and then it's going to be over, and then my time's going to stop. So that part of it, maybe. I mean, it sucks. It's unfortunate, and he definitely has the potential to come back and absolutely dominate in this game. Like, he's a beast.
Agreed. Janice?
I think Ashley said it perfectly. It was basically when you complete a station, you get the chip. Besides, I think, like the eating, it was on the table already. But also it was in front of you and right next to the log. So it's kind of like maybe you're just too zoned in on one thing and you forget other aspects of the game. And it happens. You're thinking about winning. You're in the lead. You want to finish this. It's your last step and you're just focused on winning. So that's understandable. But, you have to look at all aspects. The challenge is not easy. Not everything's going to be handed to you. You need to make sure that you're paying attention because one little detail can cause you the game. And unfortunately, that's what happened with Jared. And not to knock him at all. He's a great competitor. If I was to play again and it was a pair seeded, I want to be with Jared. And if it wasn't because everyone was so against him throughout the season, I would have had no problem working with Jared as well. Like, he is a force to be reckoned with. I hope he does come back. I know he says that he needs a break from LRGs as a whole, and that's completely understandable. I get that 100%. But I think that he has potential to win the game, and not only win the game, but win it multiple times, and really give everyone a run for their money. He is next level talent. So it's really unfortunate that happened, but you live and you learn, and you now he'll never make that mistake again. Now he'll probably be more aware. So everything happens for a reason, but I do hope to see him again.
Yeah. Big X, I know you and Jared had a rivalry or up and down kind of relationship throughout this game. You said You asked him, he ignored you. You said you didn't feel bad. Watching it back, how do you feel about the whole chip incident and like watching it back and seeing it in real time?
I mean, of course, you can hear me, right? I just took out my headphones, so I don't. Okay. Of course, like as a viewer, you're gonna feel bad for Jared. Especially like having that whole like um rookie of the season stuff. Like he really did like work hard, and I can applaud him for that. Um, However, for me personally, like number one, like Ashley got the token, Janice got the token, I got the token. So it's not like all of us just like missed it. But also like me personally, it just kind of felt like karma. And I know that I've seen a lot of people talk about like why is Jared getting this hate. I cannot speak for other people, but for myself, I thought I was really close with Jared at the beginning of the game. I gave him a lot of information. I gave him a lot of trust. So when he nominated me and we had that little blow up, ever since then it was kind of like, okay, I cannot trust you. I want you out of this game. And I am a petty player. I am petty. If we get in an argument or if you betray me, best believe that I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you either get eliminated or you don't win. As long as I beat you, I'm going to be satisfied because that's just the type of player I am. Like I can't like if I have a vendetta, I'm such a sore loser that I will just be like just hurting because my vendetta beat me. Um, so passing him in the mountain was just a real big, just kind of boost for myself because like this whole season, like Jared's talking about me. I'm talking too much. Blah blah blah. I'm talking about him, how he betrayed me, snaked me. And so it was kind of just like the closing chapter to like me and Jared's little rivalry, unless we see each other in a future season. But like for season 19, that is. So I didn't feel bad at the time. Kind of felt bad as a viewer, especially seeing how he felt bad for me when I ran the wrong way. But at the end of the day, in my rookie season, I made a rookie mistake in the mini final, causing me to lose, go into elimination, etc. So I just think it happens. But he is a very strong competitor, and I commend him for that. So yeah.
Kevin, did you want to address anything about this chip thing before we move on?
Yeah, so I can also take ownership of that. I know it's very confusing the way that the tokens were given and, grab it yourself kind of thing. It was different for each leg almost. And that's another thing on production that we'll just have to tweak in the future, sorry. But I just want to go back to that comment of past, eliminated players helping in the final. Like this final was more elaborate than you guys might think. And with the time, trying to have enough daylight and just trying to do everything super quick, we just let them know all the 5 stages. We don't want to give them that much time to work together, strategize, come up with plans, so we had to be moving, moving, moving. And I do think if we had a good 10 or 15 more minutes, maybe we would have tweaked a lot of those things a little bit easier. But I got down to the hill and it was a few minutes that I had and the game was starting. So it wasn't much time for us to set things up. I was trying my best to put the arrows. There's a lot of things that just I was trying to do and get everything set for you guys. But if we did not have those eliminated players to help us, we wouldn't have had this final. The second part of the final was definitely more hands-on and we needed all these people because there was no stop start. This was the first time we ever tried to do a complete run through of a final with no stopping. So I think that was just very new and different for us. But for the future, like I said, this was a learning experience, and I know we'll be able to tweak these things for the future.
Can I also mention about, because I know the eliminated players thing has become a thing, but that's always been the case. Like we have always like eliminated people fly in from all over to be here and play with us. So it's not like they go home and they leave right away, like their plane's ready for them. Like no, like we're all hanging out, we're all living together for the weekend. Like eliminated players still live in the house with us. Like they're just not on camera. They're not allowed to talk game with us. They're not part of the game. But that doesn't mean that they can't help. Like this is not something that we get paid for. Like these are all volunteers that are helping us. And if you're in the house and you still want to like watch the game and things like that, it doesn't hurt to pick up a camera and help record or to set up a station or whatever. it makes it easier for production in that way. And it's not like anyone is sitting there being malicious about, helping, or like, okay, I'm gonna make this easier for this person. Like that's not really what happens. I think a lot of our players hold themselves with integrity. So I don't think that should really even be a narrative at this point.
I completely agree. Just obviously, I think that at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of things that we are going to address during this, because there's been a lot of talk about like the unfairness or this or that, and like I know some people weren't necessarily happy with eliminated players helping in the final, but it's always been a thing. Like Janice has said, it's always been a thing, and it's always going to be a thing, because the community we've built, we try to, obviously it's a lot of work. That's number one. We're not MTV. We're not a up there network, and that's where we're hopefully one day we'll be at. But right now we have to use our resources, and if the players that are eliminated want to help us out, and can keep the integrity of the game, which is the number one priority, we're gonna do so until something goes down, until someone is caught cheating or helping or assistant or doing something they should not be doing. As of right now, it's work. And in the moment, correct me if I'm wrong, but none of the finalists, I don't think any of the finalists cared that it was an eliminated player at a station. I don't think any of the finalists felt like, oh, so and so's helping so and so, it's unfair. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it was anything like that. And I think that, again, like Kevin said, if it wasn't for the eliminated players, we wouldn't have had the final. So we can't make everybody happy. We understand it might not be to a viewer's liking, but as long as our finalists felt that it was fair and we got what we needed to get, which was the footage and the final done, that's all I could care about. What's it called? Rachel commented, she said, "Love y'all, but I ain't helping you. I'm capturing the drama." And then whoever was complaining about the eliminated players should come help next season.
Also, I forgot to mention this too. Like a lot of the people who are now playing, it's not like when we were in backyard games and like everyone was just from high school and like randoms helping like playing the game. A lot of people who are playing now are from the community, the LRG community. So even they've run their own productions or they've been on other productions, so they know how to help and be on the other side and wear the production hat versus just being a player. And they also give different perspectives on like what we can do better, or like, okay, maybe get from this angle, or maybe we should set this up ahead of time so that it's not taking up time doing this. So it's helpful to have those people there.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I also wanted to say, like, for like this episode got a lot of hype. The finale, it was called like the best finale in a while, best edited. We got most of those like angled shots because so many people had their phones out recording, helping, getting different angles. That's why you got to see everybody in the different stations. If the eliminated players were not helping out recording or helping out in the stations, it would have been a mess. There's just only so many production that can help out. So if you're complaining about the eliminated players, just also think about how good the finale was and how many angles we had, how many shots we had, all of that. Literally the eliminated players stepped up. And
Well,
yeah.
my question though, because I'm not crazy into this world. Where are the complaints coming from? Like, is it internal? Is it viewer? Like, where are these complaints coming from? What's driving it?
So I was gonna wait till the end to address this, but I'm gonna address one thing personally that I've spoken to Kevin about, and this is for everybody has my number. If you guys feel the type of way, please address it. But I'm just gonna call it out. I was told that a lot of people were upset, specifically with me, for cheering Janice on because she's my favorite. Little does anybody know, it was never even that. Like I don't even want to put our shit out there, but like I'm just gonna keep it.
No, you can say it.
Nobody knew that me and Janice weren't even on the best of terms. Like we
were not talking at that time.
Oh, Janice Kevin got Janice there, because if it was for me, she probably would have in that moment been like, sorry, no. So like I was doing my job, and Ashley, I feel like you could attest to this. Like,
well, I was fixing to say, I just raised my hand for that reason. I just met you. Like weekend, Thursday, whatever. I met you for the first time and you ran side by side with me towards the end. And at the time, I, again, was so delusional. I had completely forgotten that I had such a huge time advantage from the first part that I really was in. I thought Janice took this. Like, I am going to finish, but Janice has this. You were running side by side with me, literally saying, go, go. Like, you are in this, go. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to finish, but like, dude, like, but no, like the support that you were also giving me, I just met you. So am I a favorite too? Because I just, you did that for everyone. Like you,
And it also wasn't just Dre. Like if you watch the final, you would hear May cheering on me, cheering on Jared, cheering on literally everybody. And it's not targeted. It's not targeted. It's that they're seeing us in this position, and all they can't help us. They can't give us the answers. They can't pick up the logs for us. But what they can do is at least just be like, go,
yeah,
keep trying. And that's like, I don't see
Yeah.
a problem with that. Especially when everybody's getting it.
Yeah. So to answer Ashley's question, then I'm gonna hop off, and Kevin, you could take the lead on this little portion because I want Zay and Nate to talk a little bit too. But to answer your question, Ashley, I think it's a mix of both. It's definitely internal because some people, no shade, are bitter. Let's be for real. They're bitter.
I mean, it sounds like you're bitter about it.
Yeah, they're bitter, but my issue with being bitter is like, if you're bitter and you feel that type of way, then why do you keep coming back? Because let's be for real, I haven't heard not one person from 19 in that moment. I've heard through the grapevine people don't want to come back, but I promise you, if I pull up everybody's personal messages, they want to come back. And that's what I just don't respect, because it's like, I'm willing to take critiques. Ashley knows that, Janice knows that, Big X knows that, Kevin knows that. Like, we are so open to that because I want my game to be the best game out there. It's not rigged. I don't care if you're my sister, my brother, my cousin, I just met you. I want the best performance and the best outcome of my entire game to be out there. And again, I don't know why I have to explain myself, but I just want to, because again, this is the entertainment business, and this is what
Can I just say that, like, politically or view wise, it's not good if I win or if Damaris wins or if Kevin wins. Like, he gets heat for it whenever someone close to him wins. So why would he rig it to then end up just getting the shit end of the stick and getting all the complaints and getting all the hate? Like, no, like, it's just, that's how the cookie crumbled. That's how the game went. We won. And
yeah, like, on top of that, like, we ask, like, Kevin knew this, like, the whole twist for multiple people to win, where we were banking on, we didn't know if Janice was going to get to the end. We didn't know if Nadia was going to get to the end. So we were like, we could get 2 new female winners, especially on the women's side. We want 2 new winners. So even when Janice had already won, on a Dre Media aspect, it doesn't benefit our champ pool. Like, we're trying to build these champs, right? We knew Janice, this is her last season. If she gets her win, it does not, for Dre Media on a production side, not a personal side, it is not beneficial for us. Like, she's hanging it up. She got her second win. Congrats. But now we only have one female champion that is in the field right now that wants to play, and that's Nadia. So I was 1,000,000% running that hill up with Ashley, trying to push her, because, and she could attest to it, I didn't even say like, you're still, like, you could still win. I was just trying to get her. I didn't want to tell her that. So I'm like, come on, like, keep going. And
no, you say that. And had my brain not been, I mean, maybe it would have clicked, like, oh shit, maybe I am still in this with the time. By that point, I'm done. I actually wanted to jump off the cliff on the side, if I'm being honest. So really, I mean, we're done. Like, we are so delusional. So I don't know. I mean, and that's where I say, like, looking back, could I have shaved some time? Probably somewhere, but in the moment, no. In the moment, I was pushing with everything I had. So, but you were there. I mean, I remember, and it all clicked as soon as you announced the time. I was like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. But I still am like, I gave it everything I had. So.
And
Yeah.
and that's the thing too, before I get off to let the other two get on. But it's like I purposefully left everybody cheering everybody on. Like I just think it's so unfair. Like, what am I supposed to be silent the whole time and everyone could say what they want, but like I can't? Like another like something else that we are gonna address, and I'm gonna let Zay and Nate get on here. But my question is, so that you guys could talk about it, is it was brought to my attention that me and Kevin, or me, whoever, I'm just gonna say me because I don't want to put words in people's mouths, rigged it for Janice. Because how did Janice know the eliminated player order? I said, watch the episode. She literally says she has the conversation with Ashley with Big X. Like they were working together. They had these conversations. She's played. She knows that's potentially a checkpoint. She watches the actual show, etc. But I just wanted to clear that up. I'm gonna let
She
Zay.
studied that. That was the one thing that she said. I have to study this because her and I had that conversation, and I said, I don't know it. I don't know it at all. Which again, I'm sure we'll talk more, but that is where I knew I felt in my core I screwed myself by taking too long at the food. Once I got there and saw what it was, because I knew that I just knew because Janice had said more than likely there's going to be something like that, and she knew. And she said, I have to study this. And she was asking all sorts of people who were still in the game, like, okay, how did this go? How did this go? Like she studied that shit. And I didn't. And I was still learning names at that. Literally, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember some of these people that it felt forever ago that they had gone out. But no, Janice straight up studied that because she knew there was going to be something and she had to play catch up on what she missed and wasn't a part of. Also,
I think that just comes with being a vet. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
yeah, no, but also that just goes to, I just want to also add on that and say that's the integrity of the game as well. Because even people who were there Clay was there the whole time. He wasn't a part of anything until he got brought in. He did not know what was going on and genuinely had to ask and get caught up on everything. And that is the same for Janice. Like she didn't know. She had no idea. And it for me, for someone who's not a part of this world at all, it was one of the most impressive things on the integrity that Kevin and Dre and everyone that was there a part of it, but especially Kevin and Dre and the way that it ran. And so that was where this question originated from, is like, where is this coming from? Because for somebody who's not a part of this world and just became, like, it was extremely impressive to me.
All right, sorry. Now I can't hear Janice or Ashley. So wait, Zay and Nate, can you say something? And Big X, can you say something?
Can you hear me?
Something.
Hi, Tootie.
Okay, I can't hear any of you. All right.
Oh, damn.
I think I might have to log out, but before you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
So before I do that, I just want to hear Zay and Nate's opinion on all this as well. The final, I know you guys were a part of the group that missed the food station, had to run back. How can we tweak these kinds of things for the future? Did you feel like it was something that really got in the way of your game? And just the final in general, your opinions.
You want to go first, Zay? You want me to, all right. I mean, me
Yeah, go
personally,
ahead.
the thing that they could have tweaked in that moment was like, yeah, I need some bigger signs or something, or just put them up a little higher, because nobody saw them signs. We all ran past it. I think Lachey might have been the only person that ran straight to the food section. Everybody else kind of ran past, and maybe Ashley, but Coper was there with, I think, Jordan, and they was telling us to go all the way down towards where we was doing the puzzle, like figuring out people's names that got eliminated. We was running damn near down there by the time they was like, no, you got to go to this first checkpoint. So just bigger signs. That's about it.
For me, I didn't even know there were signs, but the only thing that sucks is like going down the driveway, and I don't feel that way about it because we all got to the food station at the same point. We were all stuck there for a second together as a whole. But the only thing that sucked was like running down that driveway when we finally did get down to the driveway. Production was an eliminated player that we were told, like Nate said, we were told to keep running this way. but that person's vehicle was blocking the way to go down to the food station. So we didn't even know that that was the first checkpoint because it was blocked. And then as well, we were told to never leave a station without a chip. And then I recall leaving the house without a chip because the person that was blocking the first station gave me my first chip. So that was just another thing that kind of sucked because I was focused on getting a chip without leaving. And I didn't get my first chip until I got to the food station. And that was it.
Yeah,
Can
that
you
was
hear
really
us still?
bad with the chips. I that will definitely fix that for the future. Gosh, and I want to say that whole running thing. Ashley was obviously the only person that, with time and finishing the final, it actually affected. So we did go back and look at footage and just make sure that we got literally all the timestamps correctly. And that's how we got down to that point of 1 minute and 41 seconds. Like we really did calculate everything. There was no foul play. Literally, the cheering was the only thing that was foul play about this final. And I can live with that. But literally everything else, we tried to correct it. And we're just gonna do better moving forward in all aspects. I still can't hear you guys, so I'm gonna have to jump off.
All right, I'll take over. But yeah, no, I like I said, I definitely agree. We're still growing. We're still trying to be the best out there. So obviously we did make a lot of mistakes on production. I can't even lie about that. But I will say as well, like Kevin said, like we made sure, like even though you guys missed the station and it was partially our fault, we made sure we watched the footage and made sure that you guys got that time back and things like that. Which is why, like Ashley, it was only 1 minute and 42 seconds. Because if we would have taken that and been like, well, we're not going to fix that, it would have been a way longer um, space between you and Janice. But Zay and Nate, you guys didn't get to finish the final. You guys both got stuck at the Sudoku. What was that like? And watching it back, how do you feel about the final and everything that went down? We'll start with Zay.
Me? It was good. It was a really good episode. I really enjoyed watching it. Like I said in the comments yesterday, like it brought the adrenaline back. I wanted to do it. The only thing that kind of like makes me wish I did something different in the final is the fact that I helped Ashley and X. And then when we got to Sudoku, we were all just by ourselves. And then I didn't think at the time, it's not their fault, but I didn't think at the time, why didn't I just grab my board and go next to Ashley to work with her? Why didn't I go with X to work with X? Because I just let them copy my entire elimination order. And I could have been a dick and just been like, no, fuck this, it's the final. But I just thought about the game, working with them all season. So that's the least I could do to help. So that's my only, not regret, but learning lesson, I'd say, is that I wish that I got to work with them for the Sudoku, because then if I did that, that hill would have been the easiest thing for me, and I could have won that. And I stand 10 toes saying that. No disrespect to your discredit you X, but I feel like that was my final to win.
I mean, no, I like I said in my confessional, like I would genuinely, because I already knew I had the time advantage and I was putting that into account.
We could have won together.
And the thing is, I was helping Zay with the Sudoku. I was trying to like verbally say it, and if you can see it in the episode, I'm like shouting and I'm like screaming at him like the directions because I'm so frustrated. But I actually didn't clear my board purposely. Like usually on the challenge, like if you finish a puzzle, you flip that shit over and
Right.
you're
That should
right.
be your doing. Like if you didn't flip your puzzle and you left your station, that would have been my advantage to
Yeah,
copy you.
Siva,
But
I said
like the
check.
real challenge,
I
like
said
usually you
check.
have to do that to flip it and stuff,
Yeah,
like on the real show.
I said check, and Sivo took that shit so
Real
fast, and with
fast.
my mind,
Fast.
I'm not thinking like, oh, let me snatch it back and give it to Zay. Like, and
Right,
I'm
right, right.
sorry to Zay, but in my mind, it's like I have a 30-minute gap between Jared. I need to catch up, and I already
Yeah.
knew he was far up that mountain, so I was just trying to play catch up and like sprint as fast as I can. Um, but no, I thank you so much for that order. I knew the order, but I didn't know the double elimination
It was
like
just those little
things,
tweaks. It was the little
just
tweaks that
because
we were all
I,
stuck on.
especially on day two, just because I was in bed.
Yeah.
So I would have 100%. I apologize for not. Maybe I could have like said the numbers out loud for you. I just wasn't thinking. I was just trying to zone in.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I would have left the board up if I could. So
Yeah, I wanna say something because I was actually watching it back and I was like, it's so ironic because you guys, I would say Ashley, Janice, Zay, and Big X. At this point, you guys are still in an alliance, whether it was the final or not. You guys were motivating each other, helping each other, all those things. In the first part of the final, Big X, you helped Zay and Janice, and you said in your
Mhm.
confessional, "Hopefully, this helps me later down the line." People might think this is dumb, but hopefully, it helps me later down the line. I think Zay would have helped you regardless if you helped him or not, because I just feel like Zay's probably one of the, if not the most loyal player, like one of the most loyal players there. So I think you helping him, already working with him, but helping him, it was repaid with the order.
Mhm.
But I will say, I think it was your first final. I think that was a mistake on your end because I don't think you were taking into account, which was if X was in first place and Jared hadn't left there, that's when you help X. But I don't think you realize, like, if I help X right now,
That's causing.
Jared's already the one to beat. Like, only two could win. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The only way you should have helped X is if no one else was in the lead, because then you two could have won together. But at that point, Jared was so far ahead that that was a mistake on your end. And then even with the Sudoku, if Big X would have helped you, I think as well. I don't know how you both. I don't know how you would have done on the loop, Zay. But I
Easy.
think in the run, I was saying it, watching it like live. I was like, Zay didn't even break a sweat. Zay was the only finalist that I recall running from the house down and did not stop.
That was
The
the
only
easiest
one.
part for me.
and that's that training. That's that training he was doing. He worked his
Yeah.
ass off.
That was
So
the easiest part.
I think if Big X would have helped Zay in that moment as well, I don't know who would have. Well, actually, no. If Zay would have crossed that line second, Jared would have been the sole winner because Zay, you were too far behind.
But he would have forgot his chip
Yeah. True.
that at the
So
time
if
as
you
well.
and X could have gotten up that hill together and he forgot that chip, then you guys would have won together. But it's a lot of again in the moment you didn't know
Yeah.
he forgot the chip and
Yeah.
like
But
um
but but as well, like aside from like helping them and then them could have helped me, that's my learning lesson in the challenge now that I play caucus. That's my lesson to learn Sudoku, learn how to do puzzles. I can't put it on like piggybacking off of people. But that's my mistake for not knowing how to play as well. It's not their fault that they didn't help me and this and that. That still falls on me as a player. So
Well,
now
I'm
I
gonna
gotta
hop in
take that.
if you don't mind.
Mhm.
Definitely, that is one thing that I've said it. I think I told Dre, like, it is a regret of mine. Like, you deserved to finish that and to have the repayment. I owe you a huge, I would not have gotten past that had you not helped us. Like, I wasn't getting it. So I definitely owed that back. In the moment, none of us are thinking. So it
Uh,
definitely
For
is like,
sure.
if you would have just said, "Hey, can I have your board?" Yep, here's my board. Take it. But absolutely, like 100%. Because Sudoku is not. It's not as easy as just, oh, here's what you need to do. You would have just needed to look at the board. If you don't know how to do it, you're not. I mean, because Big X was saying, okay,
Yeah.
1 through 9, 1 through 9, 1 through 9, like that.
Yeah.
It's easy to hear that, but
Yeah.
like, what are you
And then
talking?
just first getting to the station as well, all of our Sudokus were on like one of those little wooden poles. So I didn't think like I could grab it off the pole and move over. Like there were so many rules and stuff. So I didn't know if I
I
could
know.
grab the
Yeah.
Sudoku, walk over there with you. Like I wasn't thinking we're hot, so much was going on in our head. We're delirious too. So
The
it's like,
only other part of that was, had we been closer, I think it was T that came up next to me. And so I immediately turned my back and was blocking mine.
yeah, I remember that. I
For me,
remember you were
I'm
looking
like,
the
I'm
other way.
not helping another female. The only female at that point that I was helping was already ahead of me. That's it.
Hmm.
Like, so for me, it was different on the female side. But it doesn't hurt me to help you. So I absolutely, as soon as it was over, I was like, damn, like you
Yeah.
could have just looked at my board. It wouldn't have mattered. But you're right. That station also, we weren't getting much from, I know Amir was at that one.
Hmm.
He's who checked my board. And I remember like asking him to check, and he just stood there, and I'm like, I need something. Like, tell me something. Like, you've got
Yeah.
to tell me, like, no, it's something. And he's like, and it took him a minute. And I'm like, fucking look, like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Like,
Yeah.
like, I know how to play this, and not to say that I didn't have any mistake, but like,
You want that clarification? Yeah.
Yeah.
what is taking so long? And so, that one was a little bit unclear on, can we move? Can we not?
Yeah.
So you're correct.
And
In
then just being in the final in general, there's so much adrenaline. Your thoughts are everywhere. You're just like,
Mhm.
it's not anybody's fault. It's just so much
Yeah.
emotions is going on at once.
Well, and
It's a
by that
lot.
too, we all felt so behind because I know I had taken forever at eating. Then we went to the next one. So it's like, oh my God, like, what's left? How
Yeah.
much more do we have to go? And are we even gonna make it? So
Mhm.
everybody's rushing.
I put X. Xavier put in the chat. X also said he wanted to run the final with Cam, not Zay. I don't know what that has, like, if that has anything to do with the conversation we're having right now. But I don't know.
We will
What-
get into that
You
because
said
we
in
have.
your confessional.
Yeah, we're gonna get into
but
that.
but but what
I do
relevance
want
does
to
that
give.
have now?
I want to give Nate the floor, and then we'll get into that later. But Nate, the final, you didn't get to pass the Sudoku. You didn't get to finish. What was it like watching it back, and how do you feel about your overall final experience?
I mean, I'm happy to make it. You know, I give myself some credit because I didn't make it out of day one on 17. So I was happy to be there to begin with. But as far as my performance in the finals, I wasn't rocking with it. I don't think I did too well. Honest, it started off with the first round of when we had to be partnered up. I feel like I kind of got every partner that I got was like I got at the worst thing that they was like, you know, the thing that they was worst at, the thing that they didn't like to do. Like I had Lachey with the eating, she didn't like to eat. I had Ashley with the running, she wasn't the best runner. No offense to you, Ashley. But it's like it started off with that, then it kind of worked its way into the second part of the final. I was already in either third or last, so I was already at a disadvantage. I wasn't too used to the eating, so I was still set back. The Sudoku, I just whiffed that completely. I'll put that on myself. I was helping Lachey a little bit with the names of the people eliminated, but at no point was I thinking, yeah, now she needs to help me with the Sudoku. Or I'm like, if I'm gonna win this, I'm gonna win this because I'm winning this. If I lose this, because I lost it, and I lost it. You know, I think I didn't make the show was me, Zay, and T was sitting there trying to figure it out together. And I think Zay's board was like black and my board was red. So we thinking like, yeah, if you have if we have the same board, I mean if we have two different boards, then we have each other's answers in a way. We did that for like 10 minutes and then finally realized it's the same shit, just different colors on the board. Once that happened, I knew it was kind of over for us. Like, I knew it was over for me at least. But yeah, not my best performance.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys should all be proud of yourselves because it was a tough season, and like Tootie said in the comments, you know, you went out super early, so to just make it to the final, you know, I told you I think you definitely showed me a different side of you, and just go home, practice puzzles, and I think you would be fine. Like the puzzles what really got you because everybody struggled in the eating. You're physically fit. You're good socially. Like I think that if you practice your weak spots, this goes for everybody, the sky's the limit, honestly. Um, but again, congratulations to you guys for running the final, making the final. I want to go a little backwards now, and talk about the first, the final elimination and grudge marks. Um, what was your reaction to the grudge marks? Watching people give the grudge marks, their excuses for giving you guys grudge marks, and then we'll get into that elimination. But we'll start with Big X and Janice because you two had the least amount and were exempt from it. I know going into it, you guys had no idea how the elimination was going to work, what the grudge marks were going to do, etc. But watching it full circle now, how do you feel about it? And we'll start with Big X.
Yeah, so I in the first part of the final, I had 3 first place finishes, 1 second place, and 1 third. So I only had 3 grudge points, like in total. So when you revealed that I had as many grudge points as I did, I I started to feel very defeated just because I felt like I just dominated that whole like first part of the final for no reason, and like it's catching up to me. I mean, like I mere Amir giving me his grudge points. It's like, okay, whatever. At the end of the day, he went back on his word. So you're giving me grudge points because you went back on your word and karma went to you. Jordan gave me points because of last season. Okay. Um, and then Parker, I was like, what? I was so shocked when I saw Parker on the screen, which first of all, applause to you, Dre, for editing it how you did. That was entertaining. That was amazing. Um, but Parker, it kind of hurt. I know I won, so either way it doesn't matter. But and watching it back, it's like I really did have Parker's back, but I guess he didn't know that. Um, but yeah, I definitely thought I was in trouble when you told me how many grudge points I had. So yeah.
Janice?
I was fully expecting to be in Ashley's position. I definitely thought I was gonna, have the most grudge marks because I don't know. In my mind, that's just what makes sense. There's a champ coming into the game. I'm now the only female champ. Who wants to run against the champ? I don't know. I just like in my mind it was common sense that people would be throwing their grudge marks on me, and for it to turn out, I think I only got from one person. It was Clay, and my biggest male ally besides Cam, like Clay, and I don't blame him for it. It's just because he was thinking strategically. He knew that if he wanted his sister to get ahead, he had to put it on someone else who he thought wouldn't have as many or who would be competition, and so he put it on me, which makes sense, and I'm not mad at him about it. But if everyone was to think that way, then I would have had the most grudge marks. And I think, like I said, it's just sometimes people are thinking more of like vendetta wise or like revenge and not strategically. And that's what it came down to. So, and throughout the first part of the final, I didn't perform my best, but I also didn't perform the worst. So, I think I think with grudge marks from that aspect, like I was gonna be okay. I was mainly concerned about what I would get from the other players. And people can be mad about it if they want. Like, yeah, I came in halfway through the game, but if everyone from the point where I entered till the last chance to give grudge marks was to put them on me, I would have been down there in the sand. And they just didn't think that way. And that's more on them and not me. Or maybe you should be more of a social player in the aspect of not screwing everyone over, and people wouldn't put their grudge marks on you. But yeah, if anyone really has anything to say about that, it's
I want to address that too because I feel like two things which I want to speak about is people could say, "Oh, unfair. Janice got in halfway, whatever, blah blah blah." You guys had the opportunity to send her in, regardless of what the way you guys treated Jared. You could have treated Janice, and you guys didn't. And a lot of the guys wanted to run with her. That is not production's fault. That is not Janice's fault. That is nobody's fault. That's part of the game. That is literally part of the game. If you've played games, if you watch games, if you run games, you know that you could put any twist in a game to your liking. That was a twist that production wanted to do. And there was no guarantee for Janice to even get in. She had to win a physical elimination that she's lost before against May, who is tough as hell in 100-degree weather. It wasn't just handed to her. And then respectfully, Janice is known for winning dailies. She didn't win any dailies, so she was vulnerable every time. The cast just didn't choose to do so. And again, I don't feel like Ashley and or Cam, in my opinion, deserved that many grudge points, and they got that many grudge points and grudge marks. Sorry, and also the split between I think T, Paddock, and Janice wasn't even that like much. Like Ashley was literally getting grudge marks because people didn't know her or because she wasn't as social, right? That had nothing to do with her screwing people. Cam, people, from what I was told, I was gagged when Cam got the most because people were saying that, oh, we want to put it on people that we think are going to make it to the end so that it means something. And that's why Cam got screwed over, because I don't think Cam played a dirty game. That's my opinion. And then I think, again, like people and players want to get upset at production for the twists or because Janice didn't get this, didn't get that. But ultimately, it was really up to the players to make those decisions, and nobody took the opportunity to do so. So
Yeah.
that's my take on it.
Same. I think if you're mad at me, you shouldn't be mad at me, because maybe be mad at your game, or maybe be mad at the fact that you can't beat me, and that might be a hot take. But maybe just get a little bit better in the strategy department, and then you can take out your competition.
Who was next? Ashley, how did you feel, in the grudge mark department? You ended up with the most and you had to go in, you were going to go into elimination. So how did you feel rewatching it and seeing that? Not the elimination itself, but like prior to.
Yeah, so prior to that, of course, like I kind of cringed again, knowing like, oh, this is about to be me. Because it sucks. It hurt on a personal level. It did. It kind of hurt because I felt like everyone that I did have conversations and connections with, they're real connections. And so then to get grudge marks, and not and of course, like, until watching it back, I don't know why I'm getting these. I still, to this, up until last night's episode, like, I don't know why I'm getting them. I didn't pop off on anybody. I did not, like, there was no bad blood anywhere, other than people hating the fact that I came in protected. And I'm sorry, y'all had alliances too. There were people that came in pre-gaming, and obviously your pre-gaming wasn't enough. Get better alliances. I don't know. Like, I'm with Janice on that, where it's like, ultimately you can be mad because it seems easier, but at the end of the day, it is about your connection with people and how you're treating people. And so for me, on the grudge mark part, I was kind of like, damn, okay, well, it's not, I know it's not a reflection of how my relationship was. So it has to come down to, we're bitter, and we're just going to give grudge marks to someone that they think had an easier run. And that's fine. I can tell you that mountain was not an easier run, but I got to do it and you didn't. So that's okay.
Yeah, I think Ashley touched on a good point, actually. Sorry. Of like, people are always going to be mad at whoever has the dominant alliance. And that's just what it is. Like, you want to run with your people, yes, and make it to the end, but that's only if your people can get you that far. Having an alliance that can't really save you if they're not in power, or they're not voting all together, like, it doesn't do anything for you. But if people see an alliance that's working together and they're killing it, obviously they're going to be mad because it's going against them. But again, that is on you and your strategy as a player, and your, like, just how you play the game. That is not on the other people. As you play, and you get this knowledge as you play more seasons, you have to learn to adjust your game to get you to where you need to be. And if that means cutting off your alliance that is not working for you, maybe build new connections and get into the better alliance.
Zay, I want to hear from you with the grudge marks.
Okay, with the grudge marks, I for sure thought I was going into that elimination, like for sure getting like put in that. That was crazy. I was like, it's crazy to me that like Cam still got a lot over me when I was basically getting last and second to last. All those stations for the first part of the final. Yeah, it was just crazy. And Jordan, I was so shocked to see that she gave me grudge marks. Or I don't know if it was like 1, 2, 3, but I was like, I knew at the time, I think I knew somebody gave me grudge marks, but I didn't expect it to be Jordan. That was crazy. That was a shock to me. But other than that, yeah, that was pretty much it when it comes to the grudge marks.
Dre, do you remember the split between me and Cam?
as in like the amount of
Of the grudge marks, like how many he had versus how many I had. Do you
if
remember?
I'm correct, I think what's it called?
I'll have to rewatch it
We
back.
had 27, I think. Oh no, that was in total. I don't know. Kevin has the numbers. We could definitely pull it up for you.
Yeah, see, that was one thing I do remember feeling like, dang. But then that's like because I think he had 26 or 27, and I was, I don't know, 12 or 13 or maybe a little higher. But it was a big difference. And but then it dawned on me too, like, oh, okay, well, this also came down to what did you get in part one? And that's where like Nate was saying, you know, it affected you in part one, not only with your time, but with those grudge marks too, based on what we were getting on how we finished. And so I did pretty well in part one. And so that was the other part that I was like, dang, like, all right, I guess here we go. But in the end of it, and I know we'll talk more, but in the end of it, I actually am the most grateful of everything that happened this season. I am the most grateful that I had those grudge marks and I got to, within a season, complete some unfinished business. So I'll take it.
Yeah. I think so Nate, I think it's on you now. The grudge marks twist. What did you think of it?
I actually liked the twist because I knew out of everybody in the house, I was not the person that people was looking at like, yeah, he's backstabbing people. We need to give him grudge marks, stuff like that. Y'all know how I am at this point, like kind of reserved and chill. So I think I had like three or four grudge marks. Shout out Rookie X for giving me one too. I think he told me. Um, it really like Ashley just said, it came down to how you finished in the first part, which was so pivotal because if I was given the immunity from that elimination, I'm pretty sure it would have been Cam and X going against each other. Like, yeah, X would have chose whatever elimination it was, but I would have preferred that over Cam and Zay. So I liked the twist, but it still didn't really work out in my favor because I wanted to run with Cam since I was working with him for so far, like for so long, and because how badly I kind of whiffed the first part that didn't give me the immunity.
I see the chat going off about like alliances and like trying to get into the dominating alliance and like you guys not wanting new people and stuff like that. So I do want to address it. I definitely think there's two things can be true at once. Like I definitely agree that if you're not in the majority and you're not in the dominating alliance, it's obviously going to be frustrating. You're obviously going to be mad. Do I think it's easy to get into that alliance? Like not saying Janice was saying it was easy, but she was like just get into it or get a better alliance. No, but do I think that if we look at the history of the show, right? This alliance that keeps coming back, there are people that have made themselves in there, whether it's through a family, like Ashley got in, Big X got in. I know people are going to say, well, Ashley was Clay's sister, but I think her style of gameplay, I think Big X's style of gameplay gets them that pass, even if they have relationships outside of it. I think like a Lachey, I know because she's saying things in the comments. I think like perfect example is like a Lachey and Nate. I could be right, I could be wrong, but I feel like you guys play a very straightforward game, right? I feel like this alliance plays a very straightforward game. I think this season you proved you're loyal. You ride for your people. Unfortunately, this season you weren't in that group. But I think from what I've seen within this alliance is they don't work with people that are flip floppy. They don't work with people that like I know this whole Survivor thing. They don't necessarily work with people from Survivor. And once they say they have you, they do have you. So I do think that like there is opportunity for people to get in, but I think it's kind of something where it's like we already know we have a strong four. You got to show us you could compete and you got to show us loyalty before we let you in. Again, not saying that's the right way to play the game, not saying it's easy. I'm just saying that I do think there's a way to play the challenge. And I think that if you once you find your group, it doesn't even have to be this alliance. It could be your own group of people. Why would you ever go against it? Like if you know they have you, if you know you can get to the end together, if you feel confident running against them, why would you blow that up? This is not Survivor. People return, and once you find your group, you're pretty much set for the game if you can rely on each other.
Yeah, maybe I should clarify what I said. I don't want to come off mean girl like, but um, yeah, I don't mean like fine, like, oh, like for example, Jersey Rats, known for being a dominant alliance, if that's what you want to call us. But I'm not saying like walk up to the big alliance and say, hey, like let me in. Like no, like if you build your own alliance, great, but make sure your alliance knows how to work together. The Jersey Alliance was so strong because we work together well. We come together, we decide on a plan, and we stick to that plan. There's no deviating from it. There's no like, oh, I'm an outlier. I'm gonna throw this vote here, or I'm gonna think this way. Like we decide, okay, we want this person out. Why are all these fireworks and stuff going off behind me?
You're doing hand motions, so if you do like
Okay,
two
maybe I
Because
should
you're a
stop clapping
champ.
with my
yeah.
hands. But what I'm saying is if you build an alliance, make sure it's people that you can trust, make sure it's people that you can work with, make sure that no like there can't be too many cooks in the kitchen, you know? There can't not everyone can be top chef. Like there has to be people that are willing to, you know, listen and go along with the plan and not butt heads. Like for example, the elimination where I had said oh, if everyone was to just like sit back and like reevaluate, they would have the numbers to get me in and I would be going in. It's just because no one was thinking that way of like, let's all vote together to get Janice in. Everyone was so focused on what's good for their game and what do I need to do for myself in this moment that they're missing out on bigger picture events that could happen. And that just comes with build. That's what I mean by building your better alliance. You want to run with your friends, that's great. But if you can't trust your friend, if your friend's not gonna is gonna be like, oh, but I need to save this person and I need to save this person, like it, your friend gotta go, and you just gotta run with the people that you say you're running with.
Yeah, I will say on that. I like from my perspective, it has to be authentic as well. It can't it has to be strategic too, but it also has to be authentic and because you can only fake it for so long. And that, I mean, I think that's a big part of it too, but what do I know?
And then could I say something real quick too? When it comes to this big alliance that people talk about on season 19, that big alliance stems from the Secret Six. That like the beginning starts from season 17, the Secret Six, and that's when we pulled in Choice, Jocelyn, season 18, because we worked well together. Joel, Mike, and Kevin weren't even on 18, so we stood together on that one, and that got brought
Hello
into
and Big
19.
X.
Oh yeah, yeah, we brought in X2, and then on 19, that stems from that. But that whole alliance and the trust stems from season 17, and that's when we built trust throughout seasons. It wasn't even just like, oh hey, let's be an alliance. We all trusted each other on 17, and that's when we grew friendships and grew bonds with other people, and knew that we could bring in other people that could be loyal just like us, and
Yeah.
that's what stems from. If that
And
makes sense.
I'm not trying to like invalidate anybody like the rookies for 19's like feelings or anything, but and Clay can confirm this. Clay did not trust me like 100% in season 18. Choice did not trust me. Nadia didn't trust me 100%. It wasn't until that moment where I chose a side and I voted in Steven and Brady where that's when they were like, okay, X can be trustworthy. So it's really just like building trust and finding the right time to show your allegiance. I really do think that anybody can find their group by just being loyal and like yeah, competing
And
with
then
people.
even as well, like the rookies, you guys are saying all this as rookies, or even the people that haven't played yet. But you're gonna get that as seasons go on. If you keep coming back more seasons, bet people are gonna know how your gameplay is. They're gonna meet new people, rookies, and things as such, where you can build those type of relationships and alliances with people.
No, I get. I mean, like, just you got to play multiple seasons to build this trust. I mean, just like what X said, he didn't come in almost immediately getting this. So to say build a better alliance or find people that you trust, we have been here for all of half an hour. I can't show you trust or anything. If you have this core alliance and you're like, we're loyal, we're stuck, we're going to ride to each, there's no opening. Let's just be realistic. There's not. You have your group of people. You're not willing to turn on them, and you're not going to take the chance on an outsider. So don't make it seem like, oh, there are opportunities. The opportunities are very slim to none.
The
It's really
opportunity,
not gonna
let's
happen.
say the opportunity could be, let's say I come back for season 21. You're there. I'm gonna know you before I know these new rookies. I know your game style. I know how you play. Now I know you. I'm familiar with you. Hey,
Hmm.
Lachey, we could use you as a vote. Come with us. We're all gonna stick together as a group. This is the plan. We could all stick together as a group then, and that's how things start moving forward. Because the season
No, but I
17
mean, I
alliance,
get
we
that for
didn't.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
We
just
didn't all
talking
know
about
each
for this
other.
season though. It was just like, people are mad. People weren't mad. It was just frustrating. You're
Yeah,
saying, build a better I mean, we can. If this is the dominating alliance, fair, given their credit. They are winning, they're winning out. Everybody else is like discombobulated. You can't even get into the heads of these players because they're so scared of the other side. You can't really build anything. Hey, I try to go, but it's just not going to happen for you. They have their people and they're stuck. And other people get in by whatever means they get in, but it's just not realistic for newer players to get in. There are exceptions like Ashley or X, but for the vast majority, it's just not the reality.
Yeah.
No, and I
I
definitely see your point. For rookies, it is harder. Absolutely.
I can hear
And
you.
like Zay was saying, rookie season is
Okay.
just about building that trust. But
I'm
I
so
think
confused.
also a it's only been done successfully like once. But a rookie revolution is always possible. If I feel like for rookies, if you're coming into a game, that should probably be your main focus is building a rookie revolution. Like because everyone else is in that same position as you, and a lot of the even with this game, a lot of the time it is a lot of rookies. So you
I
have
feel
the
terrible. I have no
ability
idea what
to.
you're saying.
You can't hear me?
Mm-mm.
I could hear you, Janice.
I can hear you. I think hers is doing
I can't
what.
hear Ashley either. I just heard Zay.
I can hear you.
Um. Okay.
Just leave out and come back in, Lachey.
Well, yeah, that was my point. I know that it's harder for rookies. When I was saying don't be mad about your like just get a better alliance, I was mainly going towards other vets that they play the game over and over and they're like, well, this alliance doesn't like want to play with me, or this alliance always find your people. And if that means enlisting rookies, then enlist those rookies and build your own army.
Yeah. I want to say before Lachey gets back in, I just don't, um, I don't know how to say this. I feel like because of how many new people are coming into this game, we have people that have never played, don't know anything about reality TV. We have a lot of people coming from other games, especially the Survivor world, where you're rewarded for being sneaky, you're rewarded for being cutthroat, all these different things. And that's okay. If you want to play that way, I'm not knocking you for that. You are allowed to play that way, right? It's entertaining, it makes great TV. But you can't ask questions as if like you can't act dumb why people don't trust you, why they don't want to work with you. Because if you're saying your own best friend can go home, or you're saying you don't care about anyone but yourself, how do you expect people to want to work with you? I get everybody wants to win, and maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm right or wrong. I want to hear you guys out. But like I feel like the challenge, a big part is loyalty. Whether you like that game style or not, that's what makes the challenge the challenge. And if you don't want to find a group, if like I don't see a way to play this game and every season come in and have a complete different alliance, because I think people are going to not trust you and then you're not going to get far. That's just my opinion.
Hello, everybody. Okay, so I'm not a finalist. So I wasn't on here earlier. Congratulations to all the finalists, and the winners, of course. But I do have a lot to say about alliances and that kind of stuff because I have done it all, seen it all. I've been here a long time, and I've played many different types of games throughout my seasons here. When I first came into this franchise, I worked by myself and I worked alone, and I did whatever that took. If it meant I went into every elimination, I went to every elimination. If it meant we were gonna scrap after every round, we were gonna scrap after every round because I was playing the game by myself. And as the seasons went on, I met people that I got along with, and that kind of changed. So for everyone, it's like, oh well, I was a rookie, da 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 da. Welcome to the challenge. I promise you, if you think your rookie season was hard, mine was probably harder. I can promise you that. I didn't just get thrown in. I also got thrown in and talked about and hated my rookie season. So I promise you, if you the only difference was we weren't living together, so that was probably the only difference that I would say, which I think actually made it harder because whereas like we might be throwing you in the game, but we're gonna party with you at night, so at least you know we don't actually hate you. My first season, we didn't have the house together, so these people really hated me, and there was no like time for us to hang out where I could like show them myself. Like they really like we really hated each other. So I went from that to now where you see me, I'm the leader of my alliance and I'm the puppet master, whatever you want to call it. It takes growth. It takes building relationships. Big X was able to do it his first season because um, he's likable. He's he got in with the right people, and like you said, like I didn't trust him fully his first season. Like I don't know you. I don't know if you're gonna be a good ally or not yet. So I don't can't trust you fully. I saw him talking to the Survivor people a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm keeping my eye on you. Like you're talking to them. Like there's no reason to talk to them. You're with us. We don't need to talk to them. We're against them. So then that's like maybe a downfall of my game is that I work with who I work with, and I don't feel the need to like bring in other people. I trust who I trust. I have you 100%, and that's who I have. But you can get into that. You get into that by being a good person, being a good ally, being a good friend. Like I can't work with someone that I'm not like a friend with. Like it just doesn't happen for me. I can't do it. Um I feel like on 18 was probably my biggest alliance was like the core 8 whatever it was. And even that one was like some people were coming in that I was like, like we can use you, but I don't feel like I'm really, really close with you. Like Nadia came in as well as a rookie, and then with her, she brought Devonte, and it's like, okay, like I don't know if I trust you guys all the way, but like we can use you for now, whatever. And so, you know, for this group of rookies, I feel like everyone's like, oh, well, there was no way in. But I feel like for a lot of you, you had alliances coming in. Unfortunately, your alliance wasn't as strong as ours. And I think that's the mishap is like this would be a whole different conversation if the final was all of the cooking cousins. It would be a
I don't
whole
think
different
so.
conversation.
Because at the end of the day, you said you got to be able to pivot in this game and know how to pivot. If I see that my alliance then crumble and it's not as strong as the big strong alliance, there's no room for me to pivot. You just said yourself, I'm not open to working with new people. I don't do that. At that point, me and you had already had words. We just was not feeling it. So there's no way I'm going to pivot and change my game to be able to build trust. I got to be a friend. And at that point, we weren't friends. Like, even if I am trustworthy, you're not feeling me personally. So now I can't even play the game because I can't get in with this group because they're not going to work with me off the strength of I'm loyal to Clay. So there really is no pivot.
There's always a pivot. There's always pivot. Like I said, I only won one daily, so I only have so much power. Um,
I
the
think
pivot
people.
is the pivot
Sorry.
is find who you can work with. Find who you can work with and who can be loyal to you. And this also goes, this is a different point. This goes to the vets that are still seeing this issue. Like Brady talked about it for a little bit. Um, Culp, Steven, like they keep Imir, like they keep having these issues of like, okay, I am a vet. Why am I keep getting out earlier? Why do I go home? It's because your alliance is not a strong alliance. Like, yes, they are strong competitors. I'm not going to say they're not strong competitors. I'm saying your alliance is not a strong alliance in the sense of you guys don't really trust each other. You don't really have each other's backs. Like, you're willing to backstab them if it means it gets you further. Whereas, like my alliance, like we granted it changed a little bit now, but before, like we are willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that we all get there, or that we further all of our games, not just our own. And I think especially that Survivor Alliance, whatever you want to call them, they don't have that mentality. And so it's like you can't fully trust each other if you're going to throw me in if it means you're not going to have any repercussions or anything like that. Whereas for us, like we are going to fight for each other. Not all of us are going to throw ourselves in over each other. That's only a select few of us. But like we're going to fight for each other because we don't want each other to go in.
I
Can I
just
push
think
back a little bit? You want to go X?
I I just have something quick to say, and I don't want to like rub anybody the wrong way, but I just think it's gonna be very interesting to see. I mean, like Dre already released the 20 cast list. I think it's gonna be very interesting to see like the rookies from 19 or the vets, whoever in general, saying how like they didn't have an in as a rookie. Like I'm thinking like on your next season, are you gonna be in a strong tight vet alliance, or are you gonna try to open the door to rookies? It's just like I don't know. I don't want to call hypocrisy, but like I guess we're just gonna have to see how like future seasons go. But like I think that even going through the season, watching the whole season and still talking about um how like you don't it's not fair for the rookies, like there was no in for the rookies. Now it's your prerogative to change that up in future seasons and work with rookies and give them opportunities because you don't want to make the rookies feel how you felt on your rookie season. So it's just like I'm listening to like a lot of the rookies this season saying how they didn't have an in, and it's just like, okay, so are you going to change that in the future? That's
Well,
my that's
but
my
I feel
piece
like
of
I
it.
don't
want
think
to.
anybody didn't think it was fair. We know the game, you know what I'm saying? We saw
Yeah.
the challenge and we know how it goes. You don't come in expecting just to be head honcho, everybody
No,
open
yeah,
the
of
working with you.
course.
You know that. But at the end of the day, you know, it is kind of invalidating to say, like, you know, there is a. Come on. I'm not going to say it's
I will.
not, but it just wasn't
I will say
super
this.
easy. I'll say that. It wasn't
Yeah,
super
it
easy to
definitely
do.
was not easy, and I definitely think.
So I feel
Sorry,
like I
Alicia.
tried, and I feel like a lot of other rookies tried, i.e., Rachel, wasn't given a chance. It doesn't matter. We all know Rachel. We love Rachel. Big personality, really sweet girl. No, she went in multiple times, May. It really didn't matter what she did, who she tried to talk to. They had their group, they had their core, and they was not budging from that. So, sucks to suck. You're just not getting in this time. So then you go to a new season like 20, like, hey, now, you know, work with us after we kind of shitted on you all season, but we see how you play. Now we want to use you. You didn't give me that chance last time.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah, I
let
mean,
me
but
say
like
this real
Rachel
quick.
said. Oh, sorry, Nate. Go ahead. Go ahead, Nate.
Let me say this real quick because it's just a rebuttal what you were saying, Clay. Because I get not like letting the rookies in. They're rookies. If you already got people you working with, whatever, cool. I wasn't a rookie. I actually played the season with you too, and so you have first insight on how I play. Only person I was loyal to for real was Jason, and that's how I started, and that's how I ended. And y'all saw that. Y'all put us against each other, and I lost. And it was basically the same thing coming into this season. Y'all probably didn't know exactly who I was working with because the whole cooking cousin thing was a secret. But I'm sure I wasn't known as a backstabbing type of player. So at any point, yeah, I could do it myself too. But at any point, anybody could have came up to me like, "Would you want to be in this group? We see that you're a loyal player as well. This core group of four, you picked up Zay in season 18. I played with you in season 17. So if it's about loyalty and seeing that, I did that already. I played the right way. I was loyal to who I was with, and it don't seem like that got me in nowhere. I got targeted again, if anything.
I think also just sometimes getting into maybe you don't get the whole alliance. You can always get into that one person. And for example, like with Nate, I protected Nate. Clay, my number one guy, wanted Nate in. And I was very vocal about I'm not saying Nate's name. Nate wasn't a part of Clay's alliance, but I knew for a fact that he wasn't going to be a number on my end. I tried to gear that in a different way. So kind of just like at least trying to get in on one person's good side, it may be able to take you a long way.
I also want to say just because, and if anybody wants to chime in and wrap it up, but I do want to move on from this topic, is that I think this season was very vets versus rookies, so I understand where Lachey is coming from. In a sense, I'm not saying all of you played that. I know you came in late, Clay. I know Janice, you came in late, but like it was very like one side versus one side. Do I think that there were opportunities for rookies to get in? Yes. Do I think it was harder this season? Yes. But I do think that there is, like, for example, like Lachey was connected to Cam. And at one point, I think like, yeah, she had like, I'll just use Cam because I don't know about anybody else, but she was really, really connected to Cam. So I feel like that's on Cam for not pulling her in with you guys because if at the end of the day, like I think it was Zay that said sorry, not the cooking. The Secret Six started this. Those are all men. They need women they need women. So okay, you automatically give them Janice and Ashley. They still need potentially two more girls. So it was up to Cam and Zay and Big X, not necessarily Clay because he had Janice and Ashley there. It was up to the other three to pull in girls that they wanted to run with, whether they were rookies or vets. But I do think there were opportunities. I just don't think that anybody was thinking that way. And I think the game is evolving. I think that alliances are shifting and relationships are forming. But I do think that there is a world, and this, again, I'm not the player, but I do think there is a world where Nate and Lachey, specifically only using YouTube because you guys are on here, do work with that group of people because of the game style you play. Do I see that with, I'm just going to call it what it is. Do I see that with Jared? Do I see that with T? Do I see that with Paddock? Do I see that with Imir? No, because they have openly said multiple times that they are only there for themselves and they don't care. So the war is going to keep going because the divide is only going to be made bigger, because if you're openly willing saying like, oh, I don't really care about anybody, I'm going to make the biggest moves, whatever, that's fine. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say you're not playing the game, because we will get into that. I think Paddock and T ate y'all up. They broke the game day two. They finessed you guys and you guys let them do it. But there comes a point where on the other end of things is like, if they were to come back next season and get thrown in and not be trusted, they cannot cry wolf. You have shown time after time that you don't really care about anyone but yourself. And if that's the game you want to play, then that's okay and you're fine. But I do think, again, moving on from this, Lachey, Nate, even a Rachel, like I think now, especially that people know you more, now that they've seen that you're loyal, it's really it's up to you. Do you want to just give them an easy and be like Lachey said, like, you just put me through hell? Do I want to be in that alliance? You don't have to, but like, you will have those opportunities. And it's actually ironic you said that, Lachey. I know you're backstage, but like Clay, he came in the most hated, and then there was a season when the vets finally said to him, hey Clay, we want to work with you. He straight up told them, I don't want to. And guess what they did? They voted his ass in, and he went home to JT. And he then it took Clay four seasons to finally make an alliance, to finally come in. I literally used to tell, you're never gonna get far with that attitude, and he did not care. Zay, he came in against like they weren't on the season, but like he would have been against the Clay, the Janice. He came in that, what would you guys call yourselves? The exterminators.
Exterminators.
They were very dominant. They dominated that season, but they fell apart because none of them cared about each other's best interests. They were all there for selfish reasons. There was no strategy. It was personal, and look where it got them. Zay had to change his game and come in and work with a different group. Big X, his rookie
Because I was stuck with him in the hotel, and I was a rookie.
He played the middle. He chose his side correctly, and it helped him on 19. Because if he would have voted the opposite way and sent in Clay and whoever, Choice, whatever the case may be, who knows where he would be now. And it's not to say that you have to work with this group of people. I'm just saying is like, if you're watching this show, anybody coming in, look at who you're playing with. If you're looking at a group of people and you're like, wow, they're throwing themselves down for each other, I want that. I'm not saying you have to pick them, but find those people, because this is the game that you could do that. Like, again, I'm going to address Lachey. If I'm playing with Lachey, I know I would throw myself down. I know that she has my best interest. There's no world where I would want to throw her down, or I would want to throw a Clay down. Like, those are people that I know would sacrifice for me, and I'm willing to do that, and that's why it would work, and that's why I would be strong. If you don't have that, if you don't have that, it's going to be a different game. But okay, we're gonna move on from this.
Can I say one last thing real quick before we get off that topic? It's really short.
Yeah.
I just want to say as well, like throughout the seasons as well, when you play the game and how you are in your confessionals plays a lot of parts too. Like how you are in your confessionals, and then doing this and that like shows who you are as a player. This and that. Like a lot of the Survivor players this season example, Steven and Paddock, even T, it would show the scene, them smiling in people's face, and then as soon as the confessional comes on, they're like, "Oh, I did this, I made this move." Or even when X walked away from Paddock and Paddock looked at the camera, this and that. X walked away from Steven, Steven looked at the
And
camera.
she did nothing.
X walked away from Steven, and Steven looked at the camera like, "Oh, he's pissed." Like that sneaky shit, we're all gonna see it. So going forward in other seasons, that's gonna play a part as well, and confessional gangsters too.
So I do want to move on from that topic. Well, Shay, did you want to say anything else? I know you had to like
Oh,
exit. Oh, okay.
Oh,
So we're gonna go to the next topic. The elimination. Zay, Cam calls you out. He backstabs you and he calls you into the elimination. And I'm gonna put Ashley in here as well. Ashley, you're going down into elimination. Tell me how first of all, let's start with Zay. How did you feel watching it back? And were you actually shocked and hurt when, excuse me, Cam called you out?
Sorry, there's a bunch of Mexicans in there. I had to get step away. But I was so shocked. Like I knew there was a chance like Cam could say me. Like the obvious choice would be to say me, like looking at the lineup or whatever. But I would think that like our friendship and our loyalty, because that's how I see that would outweigh the game. We're so close to the end. Um, I was there for him last season. He was there for me during my my mom passing away, and he knew why I was there. So I thought that that friendship and bond we had outweighed anything in the game. So it really shocked me, and it really hurt a lot too. And then winning the elimination, I was crying on the floor, but I wasn't crying like just because I finally won like a real elimination. That was like my first real win. I wasn't crying just because of that. I wasn't crying just because like my mom. I was actually crying as well because I had to be the one to take out my number one ally. Like I had to be the one to take Cam out, and the fact that we even went against each other, I was crying for that reason too, and just the possible backlash that he might get for backstabbing me, and the possible like hate or he's gonna get. I felt like empathy for him, and it felt bad that he even did that. So yeah, it sucked, and it's a learning lesson going forward that you can't trust everyone, and yeah. And then I want to ask X real quick. When I was sitting down, you walked up to me and asked me like, "Oh, Zay, who do you want into elimination?" And I was telling you I don't know, and you gave me attitude and walked away. What did you want me to say? If I would have said Cam,
well, I wanted you
is
to say
that
a name.
'cause I didn't know who I wanted to go against? That's why I said I don't know. And then you got sassy and had an attitude for no reason. But my question is, if I were to say Cam, would you have threw in Cam? If you had the opportunity to pick somebody, what was that about?
No, I would have thrown him in.
Yeah,
But
this is
that
why
was
you asking me.
me.
Like
But
you, I
honestly,
felt like in that
but
moment you were asking me like in a way of like, oh, who do you want to go against? You know, I'm probably gonna
well,
say Cam
yeah,
because
because
the
we
easiest
at
option.
that time
But
we
why would I
thought,
tell you a name if you're not even gonna do that? So I don't even think you were coming at me to get my best interest. I think you were coming at me to probably report back to Cam
but
what I
no,
say.
no, but we didn't know about the grudge points,
Yeah, yeah, we
or the
didn't. But
grudge
at the
marks at the
time,
time.
at the
We
time
thought
we knew you were
we
getting ahead in first a lot of that
yeah,
time. So
yeah,
we all
but
thought you
that's
were gonna
what
pick somebody to go into elimination against me because
exactly. And we
we thought
thought
I
you
was
were
gonna
in
go in.
last. We thought you
Yeah,
were
yeah,
in
yeah.
last. So when I went up to you asking, of course I'm not. This is me going up to you, and at this point, me, you, and Cam are still in an alliance.
Yeah,
We are
yeah, for
still,
sure, for sure.
yeah, we are still in that alliance. So me going up to you, of course I'm not going up to you expecting for you to say Cam. I would have expected you to say either out of Nate or Jared, who do you want to go against? And whoever, if it would have worked out like that, where you got last place and first place got to choose their opponent, I went
Mhm.
up to you just asking Nate or Jared. I worded it like, "Oh, who do you want to go up into elimination?" But we are so close and our alliance is so tight that I just did not expect you to say Cam. So no, I wasn't setting you up. I didn't go up to you fully expecting you to say Cam. I went up to you genuinely wondering, like trying to get your best interest at heart. If you would have said Cam, I would not have done that. If you would have said Nate, I would have done Nate. If you would have said Jared, I would have said Jared. I'm sorry that you thought I was setting you up. The reason why I was giving attitude was just I was just kind of focused and I was just kind of locked in and I didn't want to be fake. Like I didn't want
Yeah.
to have conversations with Nate. You had a few times this season when you won the daily. Why didn't you throw Jared in? I tried and Lachey said no. Did you watch the season? No, you didn't because you got spoiled. Oh, okay. Anyways, back to Zay. Um, yeah, I just went up to you and I apologize if you thought I was like setting you up. I genuinely
Yeah,
wasn't. I was just getting frustrated because I didn't want to be fake around Nate. I didn't want to like yeah, and I it was hot and all of that. I'm sorry that I gave you attitude, but also
you.
I didn't know the attitude was like you felt offended by it. Like
No, no,
I
I
believe we
didn't feel
talked.
offended.
I
I
think we
remember it
talked
in the
like a
moment, and then I
minute.
watched it
Yeah,
again. I
I
was like,
think we
oh, why was
talked
he
like
so
a minute
sassy for?
after. I
Yeah,
think we talked like a minute after and we were cool. But
yeah,
yeah,
and I think there's a
no,
lot
it
of
was
footage and conversations that wasn't shown.
yeah,
There was a lot of like,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it just sucked going against Cam in that elimination. And like watching it, I wasn't as close to T at the time in the game. But it's crazy, like me and Cam had the same friends. We were in the same alliance. And then after me getting called out to elimination, it kind of sucked and hurt a little bit seeing everybody gravitate towards Cam and no one was really checking on me, seeing how I felt besides T.
Wait a minute.
As a viewer, what I'm
Wait a minute.
seeing.
Both times I won the daily, I tried to get Jared thrown in. So what is he on about? Sorry, Zay. Continue.
You good? No, it just kind of sucked because when Janice came into the game, I knew like she's somebody I'm cool with. Like based off, I knew she was cool with Clay. I know she's close with Kevin, Mike. Those are people I worked with in the past. So I was like, okay, I'm like Janice isn't even gonna be a thought of when she's in the game. So it kind of like sucked a little bit that I didn't feel like as close to her. And we still have a friendship to build throughout the season. My first time playing with her, but like seeing everybody go towards Cam like hurt a little bit, and then me only having T just by myself and people that were eliminated or people on production were checking on me more than the people in the game. So that kind of sucked a little bit, feeling like I was in with them, but then when it really hits the fan, like I felt like I was on the outskirts.
And I can say I do apologize for that. I think it was more and of course I'll address what Xavier said in the comments. Like I did say in my confessional I was rooting for Cam. Of course I was rooting for both of you. I would love to see both of you be in the final with me. That was the goal that we wanted to accomplish before we even knew Clay was playing, before we started the season. We just wanted to make sure us three were good. And it really did hurt seeing you guys go against each other. Like you literally when Cam was saying his decision, my face was covered because I was genuinely in borderline tears because I knew he was probably going to make that decision. And was I like, yeah, your best bet is Zay? I did say that because that was his best bet. Whether he was going to do that and have the integrity of not doing that, that was all on him. But I mean, the facts were there. Everybody said it. The smartest decision was to do you. As for the rooting for him, and going up to him, the reason why I waited to congratulate you and I was next to him on the stairs was just because I felt like he needed me and you had already won. And I was happy for you. Don't get me wrong, I was very happy for you. But also like you're crying tears of joy, also a little bit of sadness because you just defeated Cam, but Cam's whole season just ended. Like me and you are gonna have a final to run. And when we went down in the basement, I sat right next to you. We got the memory locked in. We got all of oh, he's not even here. Hello. Um, but yeah, Zay, if you're hearing this, I just felt like like Cam needed me more. Like he just got eliminated. He was breaking down and I was always gonna come up to you congratulating you, but I just you know, it just hurt. It just hurt in general. I felt like my parents were divorcing. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think X is right. I'm sorry that you felt that way, Zay. I didn't know you felt that way. Um, I love both you and Cam. I mean, you guys call me Queen Coochie, so. Um, but I just like X was saying, you were crying tears of joy because you're continuing on in the game. You are keeping you're going on in the final still. And I have seen Cam's journey from the start, and I know how badly this was hurting him in the moment. I knew that he was already defeated. Even before the elimination, he was already in his head. So in that moment, yes, I prioritized checking on Cam, but it's just because I knew that he was crying for different reasons. Um, and Cam and I are also very, very close. I love you, and we are working on building a closer friendship. But at that moment, I just wanted to make sure that Cam was okay, and I was very happy for you. I remember your first season, and now to see you at this point, it's so much growth, and I'm very happy and proud of you. But I do think that Cam just, I wanted to make sure he was okay, and then we had the rest of the day to play together, and it was an honor to run the final with you.
Thank you both. Makes sense.
So, Ashley, let's talk about your elimination. You call out Paddock, and you take Paddock out in her strongest suit and the elimination that she picked and the only elimination she's ever won. Let's talk about it. I want to address some things with Paddock. So I want to hear your POV first.
So I'll go back all the way to, obviously we get the grudge. I get the most grudge marks. And so we start discussing pretty much as a group. Okay, how is this working? So whoever I pick, whichever female that I pick, excluding Janice, because she's off the table, they get to pick the challenge. So we're running it through. I mean, we're just hashing it out. We're just talking, hey, if you pick this person, they're going to pick endurance. If you pick this person, they're probably going to pick physical. So what competition would you rather do? And once I settled on what I would rather do, it was Paddock. However, prior to that, Janice and I had already talked about Paddock has to go. She has to go. And so really, it was kind of a no-brainer because both things were going to be accomplished. At least that was the goal. The challenge, like what the competition that I felt the best in is what Paddock was going to pick. And the person that I wanted out of there the most is who was going to go. Or it was going to be me. So, I mean, honestly, and was I nervous? Absolutely. Because I lost to May bad. But I also knew that was the first time that I had been thrown in and really had to fight for my life. I also went into it. It wasn't an elimination. It was just going to be for a penalty. And so you don't, yes, you get your feet wet in there, but you don't have to fight as hard. This was to leave. And so for me, this was do or die, and an opportunity to come in and show that I can do this. I also knew I overthought it the first time. I mean, I was just really going slow and just, okay, let me do this. I knew better. I can't do that again. So I had a plan. I had a plan, and it obviously panned out.
Yeah, I definitely think you did your big one. I want to congratulate Zay and Ashley because you both did phenomenal. You guys got called. Well, Ashley, you called out Paddock, and she thought she had it. You took her out. She said it herself, underestimated you. And Zay, you got called out by your number one and completely dominated that field as well. So congratulations to both of you. And Zay, you hadn't touched elimination, so that was very impressive the entire season, you and Paddock. So very impressive. But before we do move on from that, I do want to talk about Paddock and T and Jared, like the people that aren't here. I won't take it too far because they aren't here to defend themselves, but I do want to, address certain things. So Jay West is in the comments, and that's Paddock's number one fan. So I just want to call a spade for a spade. There's all these recaps going on. There's all these talks going on about what's going on in the game, but there's no, in my opinion, no love or support in the comments. Like from Paddock, from T, it stopped. There's no reposting, none of that. And that's fine. But like you're going on player perspectives and doing other recaps and making comments in other group chats and things like that. So I don't understand where the disconnect is with that. But let's call a spade a spade. I've seen so much shade on Janice, on Ashley, on Lachey, on their performances. Everybody has been saying, like not everybody, but a lot of people, praising Paddock, which as she should. She is an amazing game player, but she got taken out and it's crickets. Like we have to call a spade a spade. Ashley did her big one. Lachey outlasted her. Janice outlasted her. And I think a lot of people, if you go against Paddock or you go against someone's favorite, you guys get hate. And me personally, I didn't like it. I think it's if you're gonna sit here and praise Paddock, you have to praise the other women that are in the final as well. Same thing goes for the guys. If you're gonna sit here and praise Jared, you got to praise every other guy in the final as well. I think that Paddock thought she had it and she didn't, and it's okay. Like I think Paddock, I won't lie, Paddock did say in Jay West's recap, she was very humble about it. She admitted her faults, and that's the Paddock I know. That's the Paddock I appreciate. But I think in the game, in the moment, she was very bitter. She wasn't. She wasn't. Taking accountability of like that wasn't her best performance, and Janice, Ashley, and Lachey were working as a unit, or at least trying their hardest to work as a unit, and they outdid her, where Paddock outdid them the entire season, respectfully. So I don't understand why it's not being spoken about or, perceived the right way that you three did your big one. And I don't know, maybe you guys want to talk about it because I know the three girls, you were very excited for Ashley to stay and very excited for Paddock to go. I just want to know what you guys feel about it and like the comments and Paddock and T. Another thing I want to say before you actually answer that is like what you guys don't see is like Lachey and T fighting or Janice and Paddock fighting or Ashley and T talking. It's like Paddock and T are great gamers and they were gaming the game. There was a point where partners were being picked in the final and Lachey snapped and she was like, you're not, when you guys see her saying you're not going to control me, stop trying to control me, regardless of what T says, it was T trying to get her way. In my opinion, it was T trying to get her way because her and Paddock got their way the entire day too. And then Ashley and Janice were like, no. And there was a whole big debacle. I won't call anybody out, but I would really appreciate if everybody in the final set, like, because I know Lachey was like, damn, I'm going to look crazy. But like everyone, I didn't even know T was complaining that much, but all of you guys said that she was complaining like that. And it was very, annoying. And Lachey was the only one to vocalize it in that moment. So I just want to hear how you guys feel about the situation. I want to see how you guys feel about it now, watching it all play out. I know, like, I forgot, I don't know if it was Lachey that said it or someone said it, but it's like when Ashley wasn't there, it was bitch this, bitch that, but then it wasn't that energy when it was when she was having that conversation with Ashley. So I want to know how you guys feel. Where do you guys stand? What's going on with the game, with the personal relationships on the girls' side, and then we'll get.
So that clip in last night's episode, that is literally the first time that I saw that side of T towards me at all. And so not only like obviously did I see it through her, no one else really shared that with me at all. So that was completely I don't know, I guess you would say like a blindside. However, at that point, I had clearly already seen like she can sit here and preach this rookie strong all day long. I knew she was way strong with Paddock. And that is where by that point, there's no more of this, there was no rookie period at that point because she's the only one saying rookie strong. She's not really being rookie strong with Lachey. I knew we had to pull Lachey over with me and Janice. Like I knew we had to, without a doubt. If it came down to, okay, whoever, because that was when we didn't know how this is working. Like, is it who's in last place? And then are they picking someone? Like at that point, if we knew that we had another opportunity to get someone out, we knew it had to be Paddock or T at that point. But ideally for me, it was Paddock. Because I did not know that I knew T was working with Paddock, but I didn't know that she was that vocal negatively with me up until I saw last night's episode, to be honest.
See, I don't know T personally. Like I don't know how she, the confessional stuff do look a little different than how she was in real life. I will say that. And another thing I would say in real life, she was definitely complaining that day a lot. And that's why, like I said earlier about the Sudoku thing, I had to move away from her because she wouldn't shut the fuck up.
She was so loud during Sudoku. I love that. I do it for fun. And she was so loud during that.
Yeah,
I think
she's
the
cool though,
argument
but she was
between us
complaining a
stems
lot
from
that
me
day.
just being like, really, really frustrated. At that point, it wasn't even the game because I knew that she was like trying to control me and get her way, which they had been doing. I had understood that, but I think it was just really distasteful. It was like from the second we got outside, it was, oh my God, production is moving so slow. It's so fucking hot. I could be doing something better. Like,
We could have slept in. We could have got
yeah.
sleep.
I'm
Like,
like, Dre's my
don't get
personal
me
friend. I
wrong. Like,
respect
this
this game and
event,
I respect everybody else here. Like, you do not get to just sit here and complain like you're the only one being inconvenienced. Like, shut up. We're all
yeah.
hot. We all want to be here. Like, that is just so rude. Like, why are you doing this? It was just really just getting on my nerves. Um, so I think that's just where it stemmed from. I don't think that
Lachey, did you feel like did you believe her in the rookie strong, or did you know, when did you figure out that she was not really rookie strong, and was actually as solid as she was with Paddock?
Oh, it was so demoralizing actually. I realized very quickly almost that you and Janice were really close, and then I had actually overheard a conversation in the bathroom, her and Paddock. I don't even think she knew I was in there. She's like, "Yeah, it's me and you. We're gonna run this final. I don't care about nobody else, mind you. I'm thinking I'm her number one up into this point. Like, oh, you really had no intentions of ever being number ones with me. So I'm like,
Bro, it was
these
after
two girls
Denise
are.
came in. It was after, like so it was late. It was late in the game.
Oh, it was very
Okay,
much late in the game. So at this point, I'm
okay,
like, okay, I really feel like on the outs. Like this is really, really tough. I don't have anybody at this
yeah.
point. So it
No,
was, it was a low feeling.
yeah, no, it just kind of puts things a little bit more into perspective too, for with you, because I think I realized it with her a little bit sooner, which made it that much easier for me. Like, this is not real, and I, what I had going on my side was real for me, and so it was just, it made it easy to say, this is again, this is not authentic. And so that's where for me, I learned very quickly, like, it has to be authentic, and if it's not, jump ship, because it's not going to work.
No, I don't know what was not clicking in my brain. She would always come up to me and just like fill me in, and Paddock would always come up. It would just be like, yeah, we're good because I have Paddock. Paddock's good with the vet. Like it was always Paddock. I really do not know what the lag was in my brain to catch up. Like, oh, it's always gonna be Paddock. Like, Lachey, come on.
No, okay,
But yeah.
yeah.
And Janice, anything you want to add before we move on?
Um, I don't really know if I have much to say. The whole like T complaining situation, I feel like I can't really have too much to say about that because one thing about me is production is gonna hear my mouth. Um, but and I have no shame in that. But that's also why I don't play other people's games. Production happens to be a very good friend of mine, and he hears my mouth all the time anyway. So and he kind of just brushes it off, and he's like, "Yeah, Chinese, like sure, go line up." Um, doesn't make it right, but I am a complainer. But so as for T doing it, yes, I guess there is a time and a place, and not everyone um, wants to hear it, and that's fair too. But I also don't pay much attention to people regardless in that aspect anyway. I kind of like zone out. So it didn't really bother me. I also, but to be fair, I wasn't around the whole weekend. I was there for 2 of the 4 days that everyone else was there. So I understand that like other people, they heard it more than I did, and that's fair to be upset about. Um, as for Paddock, I don't know. I've never trusted Paddock, so it's not like anything she did surprised me. I knew what kind of player she was from the beginning. I've seen her play from her rookie season. I've seen her play other games. She's a big name in the LRG community, and she's known for playing that way. So I really wasn't surprised by anything. If anything, I expected her to be a snake. So it was a little surprising where like I thought maybe there could be a little inkling of trust there, but um, yeah, no, I'm not taken back by any of their actions really. I know people they see me as a survivor hater. Not the truth. I'm a very real person. People who play Survivor tend to be sneaky. Survivor is a game based off of, you have to lie to get through. That's just not the game I play. It's not a game I want to be tied to. It's too messy of a game. And yeah, I'm not really taken back by any of their actions. Real life wise, it's not like I sit here and I'm like, I don't like you. Like, no. Like, it's a game. This has always been a game for me. They don't disrespect me in real life. I won't disrespect them. And that's kind of how it is. But I also won't go out of my way to be her friend, you know?
Yeah, I do want to address Jay West's comment in here. Player perspective is for people who had shitty time playing Dre Media and they get to give their side to me without being influenced by anyone. But it's fine. It's his last season. Respectfully, they could sit here and say it's their shitty time, but they keep coming back. I appreciate the player perspective because I respect it. I like that you do that, Jay West. I was never coming at you with anything, but I just want to address that. It's crazy that you say it's for people that had a shitty time because at the end of the day, how many times have these people? If I really wanted to be messy and wanted to play this game of he said she said, everybody wants to come back. They might want to take a break. They might be bitter. They might not get their win. They might not agree with everything. But I have yet to see any of these people that went on player perspective not want to come back. So that's just crazy to me. But
Can I
Well,
add
other
though? You
I
said that
probably
Ashley wasn't like getting her flowers. I don't think that that's like necessarily the truth. I do think the whole cast was like happy for her. As you can see, I'm jumping up and down screaming. I just felt like the entire time Patty kind of gave the air that, you can't fuck with me. I'm good. So to see Ashley, somebody you could tell that she wrote off extremely early win, it was satisfying to me. I felt like I had won. I was proud of her. But you know how the fans are. They watch a person play, they get close to them. But I feel like now Ashley didn't gain that with the fans, and they're gonna look at her differently. It was definitely well deserved. She did her big one.
thank you. Yeah,
I I want to touch on Jay West's comment. I just think
so
that's a little
do
weird to me. Um, that you are saying is for people that have shitty time. There has been people that, like for example, you had Xavier on there a few weeks ago. Like Xavier would definitely play again. You've had JT on there before. JT has played so many seasons. So I don't think it's. I think saying it's for people who have shitty time playing, but then also hitting me up to play. Like I'm gonna sit here and shit on my friend's brand to go on your player perspective. Thank you for reaching out. I would do it, but I'm not gonna sit here and it's not gonna be content for you to have me shitting on my friend and his brand that he works so hard for. So I would just watch the way you phrase things.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's got on there and like shit it on the game. That was just really funky wording. We've all had nothing but praises for Dre. We respect the game and his brand. But it is nice to just decompress. But shitting is kind of crazy. We gotta chill
Yeah, I
sometimes.
was gonna say, I mean, that definitely he's reached out to me now twice, and one being earlier tonight. And he definitely didn't say like, hey, this is what it's for. So for it to be worded like that, if that I will straight up say I'm not interested if that's what it's for, because the last thing that I had was a shitty time. What I had was an opportunity to see something that people who are extremely passionate about something, they get to put it together, they get to see it all come together towards the end. And watching last night's episode proved that 10 times full. I mean, this was an incredible, amazing experience for me. And being there in person, even with the bitching, the complaining, the griping, the moaning, this isn't fair, that's not fair, like I don't feel like there was anybody there that was actually having such a miserable time in the moment that they acted like they would absolutely never come back again.
Maybe Jay.
Well, when you get
Well, we
hold
gotta get into that. But I do want to say disclaimer. I just because Jay West is in here. I was not bringing that up to like argue with Jay West. I don't want you to stop player perspective. I think it's cool. I appreciate it. I love anybody that shows Dre Media support. That's not my problem. And I know you said it's like a space for people to decompress, but I've made it very clear. Like, I don't care if we're best friends outside of this. I don't care if you're my sibling, my family. I feel like I make it a pretty safe space for anybody to say what they want to say. I might not agree with you, but I'm gonna let you say it. The same way, like I feel like Jay West, you're the same way. Like you have people going on there, you state your opinion, whether you agree or not. It's the same thing. But I'm not gonna get into it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I just wanted to address the comment.
Also,
What's
for
it
the
called?
record date, I think she would come back. I mean, I'm just saying, I think she would come back.
Jay?
Yes.
She probably would. She probably would.
I
Um,
mean,
so I am gonna what's it called? I am gonna put the girls backstage to get a little bit of POV from the guys side of things, but we will wrap this up soon because we are hitting 2 hours and it's getting late. So let me boom, boom, is there anyone else on here or was it just you three? Okay, well, I am going to introduce OGX in here because I know he's been trying to talk and stuff. I just want to get your POV on things, let you talk a little bit as well. But there was a lot of, in my opinion, shade. There was Jared saying there was no one that was going to beat him besides Big X. Nate, you did say that Zay didn't earn his way in the final. So let's talk about it. I did see Zay was upset about it. Not upset, but he did say something in the live chat. So I just want to give you guys the floor to say your final words on it and what you guys actually meant. And OGX, I would love to hear your thoughts on the final and watching it all play out and everything that's been said tonight.
You want to start?
Zay or Nate, whoever wants to start.
Okay, I'll start
Go ahead.
then. I'll be straight up. I meant exactly what I said. It's crazy because I was in a group call with Zay not too long ago. He asked me this, that if I told Cam not to send him in because he hasn't been in elimination at that point, and I told him no, and I still don't think that I did. I said it to the camera though. I did say it to the camera though, and I did say it to Jared, but I don't think that's what I said to Cam at the time, and that is how I felt. If you would have asked me that, that's 100% how I felt. Because yeah, I do think you're a good social player, and I just feel like that's what got you to that point. I don't remember you winning like a lot of dailies, or obviously you didn't do any elimination. So at that point, that's how I felt, and that's what I said.
He was 45.
I'm not gonna say that though.
Zay?
Well, at the time as well, I didn't know that you felt that way towards me, like in the game wise, because I think that like me and you had some type of bond or friendship from 17. If I recall correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. I was one of the first ones to go sit with you in 17 to like build a friendship, talk. We chatted about. We both watched the challenge. I got to know you. You were a little quiet at the time, but Cam told me that you and Jared went up to him and told him that like, oh, if you don't if you choose me to get ready because you're gonna do the football one and then Jared's gonna do the pole wrestle, which was his excuse as to why he chose me. But just hearing it was just like damn, because like in the game, like we've been cool. Like I was never like targeting you. I was never directly after you. You were somebody I wanted to make up what I did to you on 17. 'Cause I never wanted to vote for you then either. So I wanted to make that up with you. And I thought we were like pretty cool the whole time, like friends and stuff too. So I know we never solidified anything, but the shit talking behind like when nobody was around was kind of crazy. But it's a game, so I don't take it like to heart because we're all just fired up, and I know it was more so game than personal. And then if I would have just glided to the final, I feel like right now I probably would have been thinking like, damn, I should have did something in the game. So like earning my stripes at that very last moment, I think was like very big for the season, and it made the season what it was as well. So it's all good.
Yeah, and I don't even consider it really shit talking because even if I didn't say that specifically, I'm sure Cam has a brain. If I didn't tell him that we was gonna do that football one, he knew it was gonna be something physical with me. And same
Yeah,
thing with Jared. He's like 6'5". So I
yeah,
didn't really have to tell him that. And real quick, because I'm finally able to like see some of these comments. I see Clay. He said, what's wrong with being a social player? Nate's only a physical player. I don't think that I'm just a physical player. I think I've done pretty good socially this season, as far as like hiding my Cooking Cousins alliance. My social game is the reason why Clay ever even went into elimination. If I didn't have that relationship with Cam, he would have skated to the end too. If we really gonna talk about it. So I feel like
yeah.
I did good physically and socially to get me where I got. But that's just me.
I think I don't want to speak for Clay. I think and correct me if I'm wrong, Clay, if you're still there, but I think he means like, because I don't think Zay is just a social player. Like he obviously could win things, but I do think
Yeah, and I
everybody has.
wasn't saying that either.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. I know. I'm saying like, I'm just saying from my POV. Like, if I were to say what your strong suits are here, I would look at Nate and say physical. I would look at Zay and say social. I would say social for Xavier, and for Big X, I would probably say like competition wise, like strategy. So that's just my opinion. I think that like you obviously Nate, you're a physical threat. Everybody knows that. And that's why I kind of like Jared, where it's like people don't know how did at least they didn't know that Jared was good at puzzles. Jared's good at math. Jared's good at all these different things. You look at him and you think, oh, he knows he's just a meathead. Then he goes on the field and he could do all of it. It throws people off. But I genuinely know like within this group there's no drama. I just wanted to give you guys the space and opportunity to address things. I know like I thought it was really cool and funny to see Nate with talking with Lachey and then being like, oh yeah, like I'm about to fake the fun too. Watch this when he
That
comes, and
was
then
crazy.
comes up and he's like, what's up, my boy? If you guys want to talk about that a little bit.
I had to. He was killing us at the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean I really don't have any bad blood with these gentlemen. I don't really have any bad blood with anyone in general. I mean, with Jared, it's kind of deaded because I mean, like, is he really my vendetta? I mean, I beat him, so I don't know. But like with Nate, it's just I don't have any bad blood with Nate. I had the little like slick comment that I made after like he tried to view my thing, but that's just because like while I was working on the memory, I like asked Nate and Lachey if they wanted to work with me, and they were both like, no, like, and Nate like shooed
Oh,
me away. So when I completed my thing and Nate ran over, I was like, nah, fuck that, go back to Lachey.
Nah, you're
Um,
right. He's dead right about that.
but yeah, I mean, I'm one thing you can't say about me is that I'm not loyal. Hopefully like in future seasons people see that, people value that. Um and yeah, I'm not just like I can be loyal to other people other than my like core guys. Like, I still need women. I still need, you know, they're not all going to be on future seasons with me. So, you know, between like Nate, Jared, like I really did extend that olive branch to Jared. And you know, he fucked me over in round three and I hold grudges. So I hope that just goes to show I am loyal. I keep my word. I might not have been able to keep my word to Steven my rookie season, but that's just because I needed to find my footing. But I mean, going forward, like I'm a champ now. I mean what I say. So if I tell you I'm gonna have your back, I'm genuinely going to die on the sword for the people I have, you know, their backs. So I hope that people can take that into account in the future and maybe try to form relationships with me because of that. But yeah.
OGX, I want to hear from you a little bit. The grudge marks, you were clocking people in your confessionals, handing them out to Cam, to T, to Nate. You got to watch the final live. Tell me a little bit about everything that's gone down, your experience.
confessional gangster.
Oh,
Not so much. Don't start. But
but tell me,
uh,
yeah,
I feel like with T, she had that coming. Like, girl, you putting me in, saying that you didn't have no connection with me, girl. It was just like I said, smoking that vape upstairs.
Smoking the vape upstairs.
Literally. And like, who was your Cam? Cam had how minions over, not minions. Oh my god, I'm sorry because we're not gonna get Xavier upset or Big X. But yes, he had that alliance. I didn't like that because I feel like that was one of the reasons I went into because they had the little thing when then they get mad at Zay for choosing, something else. So all of that was just going through my head, And Nate, I didn't have no connection with Nate. Like we never spoke. But watching the episodes back again, he was voting me in all the time. So I'm like, Nate, like, what the fuck?
When
Like,
Nate,
That's valid.
I will say when Nate, like watching these past few episodes, there was something about after you won like your elimination against Mike, there was something that I saw in you like that I didn't see in like the previous episodes or in 17. Like I don't know if it was just like the edit, but you really did like impress me. Like we all knew you got it physically, but like socially and even strategically, like when you would like in the final, every time you had your confessional and I like saw the vision that you were giving when speaking in your confessional. I just want to give like Nate his flowers because he did. Like I can really tell that you are like a well-rounded competitor, like strategic, social, all of that. So
I appreciate you, man. I really do. Some people
I
can't see
will,
it, but
I will say the same thing. I told Nate that in person. Like, I think genuinely that elimination is what woke Nate up. I think he knew. I think you already had it in you, but from what I've seen and interviewing you in your confessionals and stuff, you were purposely downplaying it because you already knew you were going to be a threat, and that's what we were trying to tell Rhea. Like, you can't be this chaotic and this loud because we're already threats. People already know that, and we don't have the protection that other people have right now.
yeah.
And then I think the gloves came off once you already touched the grass and a switch flipped. Um, I'm very impressed with you. I definitely think only thing I want to see you do better in is puzzles, but I think once you do that, it's a chop.
Listen, my boy Jason locking me in behind the scenes. So
Good, good. All right. OGX, before I let you go, is there anything else you want to say about the final? Any last things you want to say about the season, behind the scenes, your experience, or anything that's been happening since filming? Final
Um,
word.
since filming, let me see. Everything went well. Like I feel like after we got the season 20 post, I feel like everything changed. People don't even talk on 19, they speak on 20. I'm not doing stuff, but yeah, that's how I see shit. And Xavier, I gotta speak to you after this, but I'm not even gonna expose you here because I know your boyfriend's watching, but we gotta talk after this. Yes, you know what it is about Zay, so yeah. I'm not trying to expose nobody, so no, I'm not trying to talk about that. But yeah, we gotta speak. And yeah, like all of that,
wait, what?
Just wait till after
yeah,
Xavier.
that's what I said. I'm not
Shut
trying to
up.
expose it, but don't tell me to shut up. Watch your mouth.
My
But
Whatever.
bad, my bad, my bad. Sorry.
yeah. But yeah, like and then the final, everything was good. I loved the season. I loved everything that like how it went down. Like how you edited that in the beginning of the final. We made that basically. That final was the ending from the start when we all like hug. That was mad cute. I loved like everything that you did with that, the whole thing. But yeah,
Thank you, thank you. It was an
it
honor
was a
having
really
you
good edit.
back. Thank you. It's been a long time. I'm looking forward to you sticking around Dream Media for a while. But love you, and I'm gonna
I don't
let
know
you
what I did,
yeah.
Clay.
wrap it
Huh?
up. No, no,
Clay.
no. We're not doing that here. We're not doing that here.
Okay.
Y'all do that on your own time. All right. Let me add. Okay, well, we'll wrap this up with final words. So let me add Ash. Well, yeah, I'll add Ashley, and then we'll get your final words from everybody. My last question, well, not last question, but one question I have for T, I wanted to ask earlier. I know in the beginning of the final you said, I don't believe you that it's going to be hard. I want to know, T, was it hard? I want to know if the final was hard and if you take back that statement. And then final words, guys. I know this was a crazy season. These are my final words before your guys' final words. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Thank you to everyone that showed up. To my production, the three people that stepped up, Jason, Will, Kevin. Couldn't have done it without you guys. It was a learning experience. To the cast, I appreciate you guys all so much. It was hard. I know that like we put you guys through hell, but we lived the experience just as much with you guys. To the viewers, to the supporters, to the alumni who were constantly doing recaps or making posts or in the live chat, thank you so much. Can't do any of this without you guys. And yeah, I mean, again, it was definitely a learning experience. Everybody, all of you guys have my number. My DMs are always open to critiques. I want this to be the best of the best. I pride myself with this game with integrity, with community and diversity. And my last thing I'm going to say is if anybody feels a type of way with how things went down, how things played out, come to me because I promise you, I already know what's being said. I'm going to reciprocate the energy. If you don't bring it to me, it does not matter to me. It's going in one ear and right back out that ear. I appreciate everyone that shows love. I appreciate everyone that continues to boost up Dre Media, and it's only up from here. I can't wait for the day that I can repay everybody, but I'm really excited to see where this is going, and I love you guys. Final words from the cast. We'll start with Nate.
At least from the season that I've seen of Dre Media, this is definitely the best season. As far as beginning to end, I feel like there's a lot of suspense all throughout the way. I enjoyed my time. Happy to get far this time. Trying to get even further, win next time. I'm gonna do a favorite player and least favorite throughout the whole season too. All right. My least favorite player, I hope he's still in the comments too, because it's that nice gentleman Clayton. Sorry, Ashley, it's definitely Clay. My favorite is we gonna go Lachey. We got real close throughout the whole season. That's my girl. I got her. And yeah, I'm just happy to have, represent some more black. Hopefully some more black men could be on this because I like the diverse cast that you got going on. So thank you again for having me on. And God bless all y'all.
Thank you for coming on, Nate. Be proud of yourself. You killed it. Big X. Well, actually, wait. No. We'll save the chance for last. But Zay.
This has been an amazing season. I loved watching it from beginning to end. Hold up, I'm doing something. It was an amazing season from start to finish. I enjoyed playing it. I didn't win, like I said on the show. I feel like a winner regardless because I finally got my full Dre Media Caucus Challenge experience. So that was winning to me. And yeah, this has been the best season I've played, and I loved watching it from start to finish and motivating me to go back being sober. So that I want to get back to that lifestyle again and being in that headspace of being sober. And yeah, it was amazing to watch, and rest in peace to my mama, Esther Rodriguez. So I'm very blessed to play, and I thank you so much for everything.
I want to say thank you to you, Zay, because I know how hard it was for you to come out here. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you all for sharing your stories and opening up with things that were going on in personal life. But I'm proud of you. Your mom's proud of you. We're all proud of you. I think you were probably one of my favorite stories the entire season. And I would definitely want to give Zay a shout out because I know a lot of people promote, but Zay, you have done an extreme amount of promotion and it does not go unnoticed. And
Oh, thank you.
I'm so happy of your growth, and I can't wait to see you return and what's to come next with you and
Yeah,
Drake.
thank you. I got a whole nother week of promoting.
Yes. And then Ashley, you finished my final. You were the dark horse of the season, so I want to hear your final words. And yeah.
Yeah, so I'll actually piggyback off of Nate and say my favorite player is absolutely Clay. So, so we'll just even that right up. I would not be here without him, so he has to get all the credit for that. And I know I've said that. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. But I did not come into this expecting it to actually mean anything to me, or ever thinking that I will do it again, or anything. I came into this 100% for him and just hoping to experience a little bit of what has been important to him so that I could understand it better. Because if you don't educate yourself on something, you can't actually understand it. And that's what this was for me. And so to come into it with that, but then be able to leave with so much more, and to be coming back is huge. It's now more than just something for him or to learn about this. It's also for me. And I was able to push myself and realize that I am capable of so much, and I think I'm capable of even more. And so I'm excited to come back and be able to just grow in this community as well and be a part of Dre Media and continue to be a part of that. So thank you so much for having me. And honestly, it was such an experience. I hope everyone realizes like this is worth it and you can get something out of it if you want.
Thank you, Ashley. I really appreciate that because like you said, I had just met you that weekend. I've been friends with Clay for so long, never even had a phone call with this woman. And I'm so happy to see the outcome of like you keeping your head up high, even though you didn't win, you making this part of your life now, and it wasn't just a one and done type thing. And everything outside of the game, you've been nothing but great. So thank you for taking a chance on us, and thank you for supporting and loving us just as much
Of
as your
course.
brother does. And I can't wait to see you in
Well,
the
and
future.
also if we just keep in mind that this is all just humans, people that make mistakes, that this is not some multi-million dollar company that has, millions of staff members just that have one role. Like, it's so easy to get frustrated in a moment, but if you just stop for just to literally just take a second and realize, like, look around at all that this took to put on, and it's impressive. Like, it's so impressive. And I don't know. I don't know how anyone can leave this and say it's shitty. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. So I honestly, big props to you. Seriously, like it's impressive, and I love it. I love every bit of it. So
Thank you, appreciate it. And then to our final two champions, Big X and Janice. Again, congratulations. This was so hard. You both made so much history this year. And I want to end this recap on a high with you two wrapping it up. We'll start with Big X.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak a little less on like the season itself and more on just like DMP in general. I have always been a fan of DMP. I was literally watching Novice Era when it was coming out. I was like 14, but I was still watching it and I was still following it along. I've always been the biggest DMP fan. I actually have my notebook from my rookie season. We wrote all like the champions down, and of course I knew all the champions. And actually right next to heir to the throne, I put my name. Didn't get that done then, but I got it done now. And I have like this game means so much to me to the point where I like have all of my memorabilia. I have like the fan from 18, I have the paddle from 19. I have like my message from Shayna that she wrote me stuck on my wall. Um, and I have this chain from my rookie season with all my crowns that I earned. And this is just stuff that I kept because I really truly I've played a lot of LRGs. I've won a lot of LRGs, but there's just something about DMP that makes me feel like I'm um like growing up with DMP. My first season was right after I graduated high school, like 2 months after I graduated high school. And I had a conversation with Jason earlier today where he told me like he's really proud of like the young man that like I'm becoming. Um, and I really just owe it all to DMP because yes, I'm like in college now and I'm like finding myself, but I've met so many people, and I'm just very thankful to Dre, and even Janice. Like literally went from Janice being like in my interview room, like interviewing me, and Janice was there when I got the call that I was gonna be on 18. So the fact that I got to win beside her this season is just so like full circle moment. But I will always speak positive of DMP. I will always even if I don't want to play anymore, I will always come back to help. Um, I've been a little busy with college, but make sure to follow the TikTok page. I'm gonna try to be posting more to make sure DMP blows up. But yeah, nothing but good vibes. Uh, Thank you so much, Dre, and everybody for just making this possible. I'm really honored that I get to represent season 19 and DMP as a whole. I'm an official champion. Um, and yeah, I know I get this is the last thing I'm gonna say. I know I get intense sometimes. I know I can argue. I know I can pop off. But at the end of the day, the reason why I do pop off is because I love the game. When I got eliminated last season, I cried. I broke down with Clay. Um, and yeah, it just I can't thank you enough, Dre, for giving me this chance, giving me a second chance. to prove myself and really put some respect on my own name. So thank you so much. I love you all. Please know that you can talk to me outside DMP. Um, I'm busy with college, but I'll always get around to answer a phone call or two or messages. But yeah, I love you all. And Big X, Big Champ, signing out. I'm good.
Thank you, Big X. It was an honor. Honestly, I've told you this as well. Like, your game was phenomenal. Standing 10 toes for your allies, winning eliminations, winning dailies, giving us a little bit of drama, strategy. The youngest to do it, and you should be very, very proud. I'm excited to see your growth and you moving forward with us as well, stepping up and taking over the TikTok, things like that. Nothing goes unnoticed. So, really, really appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to the future. But Janice, final words, two-time champ. It's your last season with us. Wink, wink, maybe, maybe not. I'm gonna never say goodbye, only until next time. But I want to wrap it up with you and hear your final thoughts. And yeah.
Well, where do I start? It's been an honor playing the challenge and being a part of the DMP family. I know mentally that weekend I go through it, but then rewatching and it's like, wow, like that was a lot of fun. Do I think I would come back? No. But it is it's definitely an experience that I'm grateful to have. This season was my favorite season, and not only because I won, just because I played on my own. I played for myself. I feel like, I made my name early on in my challenge career, but I feel like this really solidified who I was as a player. I think it I was just overall proud of myself and proud of my performance. Whether people think I had it easy or not, that's your opinion. You didn't live it. And yeah, I'm happy to be there. I'm happy to see where DMP has come. And I'm excited to see it grow into something even more amazing. Props to you, Dre. You've given us all our flowers, but you are the creator of this. You're the reason why we all know each other. You're the reason why we all sit on Zoom on Sunday, or gather in the comments together and have these relationships that we do. So thank you for that. And I know I'm saying goodbye, but I'm leaving DMP in great hands with all of the fresh talent that is coming in. Everyone that is playing still, they're all amazing competitors. They all have it in them to win. And who knows, maybe next season will be your season. And if it's not, keep trying. And just play your game. I Something I wanted to say earlier also is you do not need to go into elimination to earn your stripes. I am known for never wanting to touch elimination. Like Dre said, I win dailies. That's how I prove myself. And don't think that because you don't go into elimination, or because you maybe are being thrown into elimination over and over again, like you could make your name in your own way. So there's a place for everyone, and there's a road for everyone, and I really hope to see you all succeed. I hope to I don't know, have more winners in the Double Dub Club. Maybe not, it's a little exclusive, but I want to see more winners. But yeah, I'm happy to see where it's come, and I wish everyone the best. Dre, I wish you the best. Thank you, Kevin, for putting on an amazing season. That's my Virgo partner in crime. So yeah, love you all. I'm just rambling now, but love you all. And yeah, goodbye from your champ. Mwah.
Thank you so much, Janice. It was an honor. I know it took a lot for you to come out and play. We are so, so proud of you. Thank you for coming one last time and showing everybody how a champ does it. I think as much as I wanted you there for Dre Media, I think you needed to be there for yourself and play one last time on your own and show people who Janice was without Dre, Kevin, JT, Damaris, anybody. And I think you did that regardless of what anybody else says. Very proud of you. Happy for where you're at in life right now. And I know that you'll always help out in Dre Media, even if it's not on the field. I know you'll always be with us. So thank you for that. But I am going to wrap this up. It has been an amazing time, guys. Genuinely cannot express how much love I have felt over the weeks. And during that weekend, there was a lot of chaos, a lot of drama, tears, blood, sweat, tears. But it's all worth it. I love this game. I love the community I've built. And I am looking forward to seeing a lot of you guys in a couple weeks. 20 is around the corner, and it's going to be a good one. So make sure you guys are subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, and tuning in on Sundays to DMP because we always stay on top. It's been a pleasure. Have a good night. And this is the end of chapter 19. Good night, guys.
Good night. Bye.
Right.
Good